It's the type of shit I told him by now. Young and now king, trip the gold like a sack. Ducking from the laws with the dogs, bring the scat out. Talking all that shit, you sound like Charles while I'm Shaq. Yeah, man. How you feeling, my G?
Back for another one.
Back for another one, dog. Feel good to be in the building, man. It's your boy Word from the Word of Clarity podcast. Back at it again with Kenny G. How you feeling, Brody?
What's going down, man? I'm feeling good, man. You know what I mean? Like, so far, so good. I feel like we got a groove now. So, you know, all the work I've been giving you, you've been getting used to that, and you know, you've been playing your position now. So.
Boy, you just want to be the Shannon of this show now, bro. You think you be really giving cats work?
Absolutely.
It's cat. What's up with that Texas hat, man? You feeling like that?
I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I've embraced the culture and all of that. So, you know, plus I haven't really gotten to the hats in a long time, man. So I picked up a few hats, and you know, this is one of them. So
I feel you, my G. Bringing them fitteds back in business, you heard. But yeah, man, 5th episode, man. You know, new year, like you said. Definitely feeling like we in the groove, man. I hope y'all enjoying it out there. It's the Word of Clarity podcast. Make sure y'all follow us on the socials at the Word of Clarity. Today, man, we honored to have a guest. Like I said, we definitely gonna have some guests coming through every once in a while, and we still gonna open up the email so y'all can submit and also be on here as well to catch some smoke. But man, this brother, man, been knowing this cat for some time. Seeing the growth. It's been a pleasure, man, honestly, dog. I know Kenny G had a long time relationship with him as well. You definitely can spill on that. But before we introduce him, man, we gonna just let this clip introduce him as well when we'll jump straight into it, yeah.
Then click like, what's up, boy? Look, like, what's up, boy? I got a death wish to kill. This tape rip is ill. The clip load up and start banging. That's Netflix and chill. Son of dog, cause every time you in somebody's face, you screaming out bow. Cause that's the sound of a gun when it rings. Boy, every time my God is in this place, I'ma scream out bow. Cause that's what you're supposed to do when you in front of a king. Like he been dead from the start, and I ain't gotta go in the whip, bruh. You gave me the shot while I'm returning the favor by unloading the clip, huh? I thought he was dead already. He is, but before that coffin is stiff shut, he gon' see the ratchet before I bury him. That shorty low at a strip club. My mind ain't wrong, I could've dared the dude. Decapitated everything on him from his head to shoes. I put his body in North Carolina, his arms in Tampa. They gon' have to mail it too, and I ain't even sitting once, cause I'm a Christian. I'm supposed to spread the news.
Man, we got our brother, man, Loso. What's poppin', my G? How you feeling out here, G?
What's good, bro, man? I haven't those old clips, bro. It's like so, you know what I'm saying? Especially like the early ones. I'm like, oh man, they kind of cringe. But I know at the time though, you know what I'm saying? Like to some people though, they still come up to me to this day and say those lines. So grateful. But man, I've been good, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just resting over here. But it's good to finally be on the show. Been seeing a lot of good things. And obviously, you know, like you said earlier, I had a great relationship with Kenny growing up. Known you, bro. I mean, we've been crossing paths since I was like 18, 19, 20 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You probably was younger. And you younger than me. So that's even, you know what I'm saying? So that's even more years. So that's like, what's that, 12 years then? At least 12,
man, at least
years?
A decade plus for sure, my G.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, man, we've been knowing each other for a while, man. Cat's been doing music, you know, definitely had similar circles, man. I think, between all three of us.
What's funny, though, is that at the time of us knowing each other, we were only known as great concert goers. Like we weren't doing like we got our names for just being hyped in the crowd. Like it wasn't like we were great rappers. It wasn't like we were on stage or like we were great communicators, nothing like that. It was
Facts.
We got our names amongst the community because it was like, yo, they get hype in the crowd. You know what I'm saying? That's
Facts.
what it was.
Hey, question. Was Word was at the legacy that you won the battle, the Rapzilla battle against Streams, was he not?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, I mean, What year was that? That's 2013. I mean, word of them, they was going almost every year. So
Yeah, man. For a minute, man, we was going to that mug. Chicago ain't nowhere from us. Only a 4-hour trip. So we was going up there consistently for Legacy, man. It felt like a decade, but I probably went for like 7 consecutive years at least. So,
Kenny, you were there too, though.
Yeah, Kenny, you was there for that when he won the battle.
Yeah. I was there. I was front row when he was battling. He battled Street. Yeah. He battled Gemstones. I'm not gonna lie to you. So Los, let me just say this. Los has been my guy. We got a long history. Los has practically known me since I was fresh out of my teens. So I've known Los for a very long time. Obviously, we were also in a rap group together. So like we traveled everywhere. Los. I even go as far as to say Los kept my rap career afloat. You know what I'm saying? When I was like, I'm gonna do something else. Los was like, nah, come on, bro, let's do these shows. Hey. So we rapped with another dude named Kato, and it was us three. But when he kind of ducked off, and me and Los was going to these cities, doing these little mini Florida tours and all of that, and hanging in the hotels and all that. So he's been that guy. Yeah. And so when we traveled to Legacy, I remember he was like, yeah, I'm gonna enter this joint. This Rapzilla tournament or whatever the case would be, pretty much where, a bunch of contestants come in, they rap. And I think it was like 16 bars. Whoever got the best 16, will advance. Yeah. And so when I looked at the list, I said, hey, Los, I got confidence in you. I've seen you do this a bunch of times. The only dude that I'm afraid of that you have to go against is Gemstones. I said, Gemstones is one of the best rappers I've ever heard in my life. Good luck. You know what I'm saying? And so... easily he took care of business. It actually, in my opinion, especially on the watchback, wasn't even close. And so that kind of, I believe, fed the monster you see in front of you now as probably one of the top battlers in the world. One of the dudes who was at the top of Christian hip hop, and then also just a connoisseur of all things and overall personality. So shout out to my man Los, man, for the years of growth and development.
Hey, at that point, because I don't think, was you actually active in the sport of battle rap at that point, Los?
Nah, I mean, I wasn't active as far as a participant, but I was watching it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I remember being 13 watching Murder Mook, you know what I'm saying, in my mom's kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, that was the only computer we had, and so I would, like, rush home to go watch some of his battles. But I was obviously on Twitter following the storylines. At this time, this is when the Midwest movement, St. Louis and them are battling New York. And so that was the biggest. To this day, I always tell people that was the best thing that ever happened in battle rap was when St. Louis got involved because it was just New York. Yeah. And so when St. Louis got involved, it created storylines for the first time. And it was like WWE. It's like, all right, now we got a heel. We got a villain that we could go against. You know what I'm saying? That's why you can't tell me anything negative about Averb because Averb has just always been that heel. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was the Triple H for me. You know what I'm saying? When, surfing them was like Stone Cold and stuff. And then obviously Hitman growing up. So like me watching it, I was obviously always in tune. And therefore, that's what gave me the edge. Even though that was my first time on a stage at the Legacy joint, that's what gave me an edge because you saw everybody else rapping their verses. Right. But I was up there really rapping like a battle rap cadence. And so when people were listening, they were like, yo, this is like, that's why he's getting crowd reaction. That's why you see Susie Rock and Jen and Alex Medina, they all going crazy because it's like, yo, we've never heard something like this in this package. And so Jen comes up to me right after that event and he says, yo, if there's a Christian that needs to battle rap, it's you. And I was like, nah, bro. I said, like, I could never do that. He was like, nah, bro. He said, trust me. He says, like, I don't tell this to anybody. If there's one, it needs to be you. And that's what kind of put the battery in my back to kind of like start considering it. 2 years later, I obviously ended up doing it. But nah, at that time, I didn't have any interest in doing it.
Wow, that's crazy. You talking about Jen Freestyle Friday, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because remember he had just started coming into the space at he was a judge that night.
Yeah, I remember that. He was a
judge that night. Yeah, he comes up to me and he says that quote, and then I tell people all the time like he's one of the reasons why I even started considering it.
Wow. That's crazy, dog. Yeah, man. Even like I said, I knew you before you even the battle rapper, man. So I always wonder for like people that's multifaceted. I think you are one of them people. Like, how you like to view yourself? You like to see yourself as just a rap battler, or like, do you see yourself as an entrepreneur, overall artist? Like, how you like to see yourself?
So, I think whenever somebody answers these questions, they always want to take the entrepreneur route, right? And obviously, whatever makes them sound cooler. But I think that we got to be we got to be self-aware. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I know for a fact you drop me in the middle of any state. If somebody comes up to me and says, "Oh, can I get a picture?" It's because of battle rap. So I carry that with pride. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, don't get me wrong. I'm just now getting into acting. I do music. I do concerts. I do podcasts. I speak all over the country. I do all those other things. So I have other opportunities to kind of get my name out there, and I also, other streams of income. But I'm not oblivious to the fact that battle rap is what keeps me afloat. All those other doors are open because this battle rap door has been kicked down. You know what I'm saying? So, so when people ask me that question, I'm like, yo, yeah, I'm the battle rapper, but I do other things as well.
That's what's up, dog. Yeah, man. I know lately, man. I've been seeing that ACL recovery, man. I don't even know how that happened for you, my G. What actually happened?
Yeah,
man?
you gotta give us the story.
Yeah.
Me, that's me trying to do everything, bro. So I also do I do these flag football tournaments every year.
Yeah.
Out here, and bro, I play ball at least 3-4 times a week. Basketball. I play basketball 3-4 times a week, bro. I'm always hooping. And I've always told myself, I said, man, like a leg injury would be the worst. I've had ankle sprains. Everybody's had ankle sprains, but like a knee or a leg, something like that, like I just never want. And I've never had that ever. I've broken bones in my arms, stitches in my head, all that stuff. Well, I'm playing football and literally probably like it was like one of the last plays of the game, bro. They just, they called a jet sweep for me. So, I'm coming around, getting the handoff, and I'm just getting a couple yards. And I go and I see these two people coming over here. So I try to just like do like a little hop to get like past them real quick. But one of the dude's knees had hit the back of my knee and it kind of shifted my kneecap. And so as soon as he made contact, and it wasn't like he ran into me or nothing. It was just one of those like freak accidents or whatnot. So it hits the back of my kneecap. As soon as it hit and the way I was twisting, I fell to the ground. I already knew something had happened, but I didn't know it was that bad because, like I said, it wasn't like crazy. I ended up stretching out my leg, but, that's because of adrenaline at the time that I'm able to move it. And so after I want to say maybe like 10 minutes, I ended up standing up. And when I stood up, I fell right back down. Like there was nothing in my kneecap to hold it up. Ooh. And so and I'm going to the hospital, got x-rays. X-rays came back negative, but then later on, I did the MRI, and that's when they told me, I want to say maybe 3 weeks later, I was finally able, 2-3 weeks later, I was able to get the MRI. They told me that I had torn my ACL. So I went and I did one battle with a torn ACL out in Phoenix. And I was planning on doing another battle after my surgery, but I didn't do my research. So I didn't really know how the recovery process is going to be. Yeah. And it's been hell, bro. So I thought that after the surgery, I was going to be able to walk out at least 5 days later. At least on crutches or something like that. But bro, I couldn't even stand up. Wow. So it's been tough. I'm on week 3 right now. I'm just now limping around the house with a brace. Putting a little more weight on it. I'm able to do that. But before, like the first 2 weeks, I was basically just on the couch, bro. I couldn't even move.
Oof. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, I got a question on that, bro, because I know that you were, talking about that battle that you were getting ready to take towards the end of last year. Was T-Top, and that's one of the most highly anticipated battles that I feel like is really in the sport, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Tell me, man, is like, as far as that battle's concerned, like what is your anticipation level for getting that done? Number one, and two, I feel like for you, I mean, in other battle rappers, this may be like a busy year, but I think for you, last year was a light year. So, second part of the question is, do you feel like you're being ducked or overlooked because maybe you had the ACL, you had some other things going on with with the tour last year, things of that nature that kind of kept you away from battle rap? So, one, how are you in the anticipation of the T-Top battle, and then also moving forward, like how do you feel like this upcoming year as you're recovering and maybe getting back into the ring? How do you feel like other battle rappers are seeing you, the fans are seeing you, things of that nature?
Man, I'm not really. It's crazy because I was super anticipating the battle prior to the injury, but now I'm kind of just like, man, I just want to be 100%. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, as soon as I am 100%, we get it done. I mean, money's been paid. I know URL wants to honor it and stuff like that. They don't want to just give away free money, so they want us to work for that. So I know it's going to get done, and I just kind of got to get myself back into battle mode. Two, as far as like with the fans, like battle rap is such a what have you done for me lately type of sport. So for me, you got to think about it. I just came off. It has been a light year this year, but that's only because I was on the Post and Autumn tour. So I was doing that for a couple of months. And, prior to that, I wasn't really rushing to take every battle that they offered me. I had got offered Rum Nitty. I got offered Danny Myers. I got offered all those battles early on this year, but I didn't take it because I didn't want to just take it just for the sake of taking it. I wanted it to be a big event. I wanted it to be a big bag. And so that's why I was holding out. And so 2021, I just came off winning round of the year. I ended up being number 9 in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had never missed prior to this year. This is going to be the first year that I missed the champion of the year list. So that's similar to like a basketball player being an all-star every year. You know what I'm saying? Then one year that he has an injury, you know what I'm saying? It's like, we don't know what he's going to be. It's like, nah, you know what he is. Like, he's consistent. And for me, I've proven that every single year. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't been 1 year since I've been active in battle rap that I haven't been in the top, not even the top 20. We're talking about the top 10 conversation in the world. And so, so for me moving forward in 2023, I definitely want to be more active. I want to take more battles, but that's just because like that's where my heart is right now. That's where my passion is. And so I think that from amongst my peers, they know what's up. They know who Loso is. They consider me. They know like when they get in the ring, like it's not, like it's not like they just know. Like if you have that conversation, they don't. You know what I'm saying? Like it's only amongst the trolls on Twitter. That's it. Like you don't get those conversations amongst battlers unless we trying to battle and they promoting a battle. But for the most part, everybody knows what's up when they sitting across from me. And so I just want to get back into the swing of things. But like I said, first things first, and that's just so that I could perform to the potential that I know I could perform.
That's a bet. Yeah, that's a bet. We got an opportunity. Word, and I definitely want to hear your opinion because we were out there, but we didn't talk about it. For real. Like, I think we went and did something else. But, last year we got an opportunity to all link up together. I was linking up with Word in St. Louis, and you and A-Ward had a battle out there, which, rest in peace, man, to the brothers of St. Louis. They died that night. That was one of the, that was one of the worst. That was one of the worst battles I'd ever seen in my life.
But you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy is that it's up for like battle of the year contention though. It's not gonna win, but to me though, I tell people, I'm like, yo, just watch it. Sit down and watch. I know KD and MVP don't have like the biggest names or whatnot, but I mean, like if you just sit down and watch what we were able to do that day and what they were able to do, like it's a hella entertaining battle, bro.
Yeah, that mom was crazy, man. That boy brought the Bible. Hey, that mom was crazy, dog. I haven't watched it back on camera, dog, but the very few battles I've been to live, bro, they've been a hell of experience, bro. I definitely would go more often, man. I probably need to for sure, dog. Yeah, man, battle culture, man, battle rap is how I got my whole MO, man. Like before I got into this whole melodic realm, that was it, man. Aggressive rap, Philly rap, Reed Dollar. Speaking of, some of the legends, man, I definitely want to get your top 5 from you. All-time battle rappers, dog. Who you got?
Man, all-time.
Careful.
He said, "Careful."
Those Philly guys, you gotta have them in a conversation. But for me personally, though, in order.
Man, I know that's tough, man. However you want to do it, just give me 5 names you feel confident.
Okay. I think I could give it to you in order though. Just my opinion though.
Okay.
But this is top 5 though. I would say I would have Lux at 5. I would have Mook at 4. I would have Charlie Clips at 3.
Charlie.
I would have Charlie Clips at 3.
Hold on, what kid he talking about? Charlie, you feeling bad about Charlie Kitty, dog?
We'll talk about it. Let the man.
Okay, go ahead.
And then I would have this is just me, like this is just what I think, like when I talk about like in the sport, bro, like what they've done, what they've accomplished and how good they are. I would have Sue Surf at 2 and then Hitman Holla at 1. personally.
What? Wait a minute. Hold on.
Let's see. Let's go ahead and react to that. I know he wants you, man.
Wait a minute, bro. Hitman is your number one battle rapper of all time?
So look, this does not mean that Hitman is a better skilled battle rapper than Loaded Lux or Mook or something like that. This is what I'm saying. When I look back at history, Hitman Holla, one, has never, ever gave you a bad performance. Not only has he done that, bro, he has left the culture, elevated, right? Became a star in something else and wilding out. And every time he comes back, he doesn't just battle anybody. He battles whoever the top guy is. So that's K-Shine when he was on his run, Tay-Rock when he was on his run. Hitman Holla comes back and doesn't just battle them. He beats them, bro. So he gets out of his acting, his nursery rhyming, wilding out skills, comes back and he wins. And then on top of that, he's creating lanes like his Bag and Bodies TV show that he just started for everybody. Like, to me, I'm like, yo, what have they done for the culture? What have they done for other battle rappers? What have they done for the city? Like, you don't think about it, bro. When you think of St. Louis, you talking about Nelly, you talking about Jason Tatum, but you gotta put Hitman Holla in that conversation for St. Louis.
That's true.
Putting that place on that map. And so for me, I'm not saying that Hitman Holla is when I watch him, I'm learning something new or it's teaching me something. Like, I mean, but what he does, bro, like, he was arguably the first star, bro. Like, I mean, I remember, bro, watching him and Holla the Don and Drake and Nelly were over there betting like, 50,000 on this battle. You know what I'm saying? Like, Hitman Holla is entertainment's entertainment. When those guys want to be entertained,
that's
bro,
tough.
They're gonna go watch a Hitman Holla battle, bro. And so I think him and Sue Surf, when it's all said and done, they are the Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. That's what they are. They're the Rock and Stone Cold of battle rap. And don't get me wrong, you can make arguments for Hulk Hogan. You can make arguments for all these other guys, but that's who Mook and them are. And I'm not even saying that if Mook and Hitman, because I want Mook and Hitman to battle. I'm not saying that Mook won't beat him. I'm not even saying that I might even edge the battle prior to it going towards Mook. But as it stands right now, bro, Hitman has one of the only resumes that doesn't really have a stain on it, bro. And he's just a professional every time he gets on stage.
I think when you clarify it, I have less of a problem with it. I think in terms of, star power can't be argued. Hitman's star power can't be argued. I think even like you said, what Hitman has done to transcend the sport can't be argued either. I'm just thinking from the standpoint of like, when I think of like in terms of basketball, and I know we'll get into some of this later, as we talk about sports, but when I think of in terms of basketball and we're comparing two players, I'm saying to myself, if I drop LeBron James against anybody, like how confident am I that not just what he's done for basketball, what he's done with the I Promise School, what he's done for the state of Ohio and all of that, which is amazing, but also on the court, like I kind of like him. At 6'9", 250, supremely gifted in every space to beat everybody. So when I'm thinking of battle rap, I'm like, to have Clips 3, to me, Clips has battled everybody there is to battle. Yeah. And in that, like, I don't think he has this crazy losing record, bro. You could argue he beat Hollow. You could argue he beat Lux. You could argue he beat Hitman. You could argue you could argue Clips went on the longest winning streak that we know of in battle rap history, where it was like, can anybody beat him? You can argue he beat Tay-Rock twice. So I'm thinking about it like Clips behind Hitman, Clips behind, like, and don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Sue Surf fan. I especially what Surf has done, in the last two and a half years has been like unprecedented. But for me, it's like Hitman at 1 is just, I get what you're saying. It still strikes me as like, man, it makes sense, but it don't sound right.
There's guys like a New Jersey Twerk, right? Like he does things that, like he writes better than Hitman. He comes up with crazier punchlines, right? And he performs just as well. But am I going to put him above somebody who I've seen get on every stage and never drop an egg? Nah, bro. Like I've seen Twerk. Unfortunately, Twerk is a product of his own talent. I mean, Yeah, basically, like Twerk is so good that sometimes he doesn't give it his all, right? Like he's just up there, just like, all right, I could go ahead and prep the day before, 2 days before. But like, we know how talented he is, and I've seen his highs. But bro, I know I've seen Hitman shake buildings, and when you're in the room for a Hitman holla battle, you quickly say to yourself, I see why he gets those big battles. I see why they call him to go battle Cassidy. I see why they call him to go ahead and headline this one. I see why Drake calls it. Like it makes sense because he's that captivating. He's a regular guy. Like he's not even like that big in stature or this, that, you know what I'm saying? But when he gets on stage and he starts doing, he was the first one with a superpower. Everybody has a thing, right? I'm strapped in, Showtime. Like Hitman Hollow, when he starts remixing, like it's like, oh, snap, the ball game slogan, you know what I'm saying? Like that became universal. Like these things where he set the tone and he was doing it in New York where it was everybody against St. Louis, bro. And Hitman said, nah, bro, you got to go ahead and respect where I'm from, respect how I'm doing it. He wasn't that crazy lyrically, but bro, he was shaking rooms. And to me, when I look at the grand scheme of everything in battle rap, his totality, he may not be number one in any category except for performance, but he is in the conversation in a lot of those categories. And so, hey, that's St. Louis got one, bro. To me, he's up there.
Hey, you know, I ain't gonna do nothing but echo that, my G. Hitman, yeah, by default, I mean, he definitely my go-to, man. I always said, though, when I was totally invested in battle rap, Clips was the only name that I accepted somebody putting over Hitman.
Yeah. And he probably did beat Hitman. He probably did. I mean, I remember watching that battle and I remember thinking to myself, you know what, Clips got that. But it was a close battle. No, so it wasn't like I remember the setting. I think they used like some weird mics that battle and all that stuff. Like it wasn't done well. But those are the guys. But Clips, I mean, but hey, if you got Clips up there, I mean, he demolished Sue Surf head to head, right? So like Clips is somebody that you could easily say, hey, he has to be no lower too. But Lux, Mook, and then Mook, you know, he's just Mook is Mook. He came back and arguably beat the face of this era, Geechee Gotti, clearly. So, you know, it's a lot. That top five to me though is interchangeable, but you know, it's there.
I feel that, man. Top fives are always tough, man. Shout out to the four horsemen, man. Street, Ward, you know what I'm saying? All the guys. Definitely gonna have to get some of them guys on her. Saga. What's up with Saga, man? I feel like I ain't seen him in a minute, man. He's still out here moving.
You know what's so crazy, bro? Everyone says that, and Saga battles more than all of us.
Really? I mean,
so here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing. He does it now.
I pay attention to the culture. Where's he at?
Bro, and that's the thing. Unfortunately, URL hasn't been invested in Saga lately, and you know, because of recent showings or whatnot, hasn't really been up to par and stuff. So, but he's battling all over the country though. I mean, Saga's doing a bunch of whether it's 1 rounders, 3 rounders, like he's battling like a lot of local like underground leagues and low names. So you don't really see him, but he is about to battle Swamp on URL in a 1 rounder though. It's about to be a 1 round battle, but he is battling on December 29th, which is an app event. But a lot of people say that. A lot of people now. I know Street really doesn't battle that much, but I know Ward battles a lot. But what's crazy is that Saga has more battles than Ward, and you just would never know just because it's not really spoke about or it doesn't have the impact that it should. But shout out to Saga, man. I think he's gonna. I told him, I said, look, if I were you, bro, just focus everything on this Swamp battle. Go in there, unload a 6-minute clip. Whenever you guys drop this, hopefully what we just said comes to fruition, saying that he got busy. So I that's the goal for that. And then after that, you just build upon that. So
yeah, that's what's up, man. How was that Poets in Autumn, man? I know it's similar to battle rap, but like, how was it for y'all, man? I know y'all went how many cities was it?
Man, we did 10 weeks and we did 3 cities each week. So what's that? 30?
30. Oh, yeah, that's big. That's big time.
Right?
Yeah.
A little less than that because there was some weeks that only had like 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was fire. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously we not poets, me, Street, and A-Ward, but and we definitely not the traditional poets like Jackie Hill and Preston and all them other guys. But we are familiar with the acapella setting and rapping long material, and that's what they did. But when we got contacted, Zeke obviously came to one of our battles in 2021 and seen us and just opened the opportunity for three of us. Unfortunately, Saga couldn't make it on the tour, but he did invite Street, myself, and Ward on it. And it was fine, man. Like I said, we was able to go ahead and go to a bunch of different cities. That opened us to a new fan base. A lot of people that didn't know us, they saw us for the first time. And I think you saw us. Did you go to the St. Louis one, Word?
I didn't make it to it, dog.
Okay,
I
okay.
short that night, but some people told me they went. They said it was dope.
Yeah, and what's crazy is like early on, we're still working out the kinks. You know what I'm saying? So like whatever show St. Louis saw, by the time we got to Tampa, it just was a 10 times better show. You know what I'm saying? Because we were more comfortable. We were able to add like different elements to our performances. And so I thought it was dope, man. It was definitely a learning experience. And we'll see what's up coming this year as well. But like I said, the biggest thing was able to kind of like opening ourselves up to a bigger audience and them seeing ourselves as like, yo, there's dudes in battle rap who are doing this just on another platform. And so shout out to Ezekiel and everybody, man. They definitely executed it well.
Yeah, shout out to them, man. I know from the originators of that mug, it always seemed like a big deal, man.
Always.
Yeah, man. But speaking of that, man, I know that was like something new for you. Like, what's next for Loso, though, man? I know you, like you said, you do the music. You know, you in the poet. But like, what's next as far as like, battles coming up? Any music? What you got on the plate coming up for 2023, G?
Yes, every year I always want to do something different. So obviously this past year was the poetry. The year before I was doing, went to LA, did like a little web series out there. But definitely, hopefully, some more acting opportunities. I want to battle rapping is always going to be, the main thing. So I got T-Top, and right now we actually trying to lock in Loso and Disaster in March, and so which is obviously that's another dude you can easily put on Mount Rushmore, and so that's huge. You know what I'm saying? And I want to do stuff like that. I want to definitely take big battles, but and then I always try to drop at least two singles a year, 2 big singles, and so hopefully some more opportunities of different things that I can do. I know BJ, he used to work alongside Reach. He's doing a book tour, and he wants me to kind of accompany him on that book tour for a couple cities. And so that'd be something new, you know what I'm saying, where I'm able to go ahead. I don't know what he necessarily wants me to do, maybe some acapellas or whatnot in each city or something like that. And so just getting my foot indoors where, they may not necessarily know about battle rap, but boom, I get in there, and then it obviously gives me other opportunities to do other things. So that's the goal, man. Always trying to elevate.
That's what's up, dog. I think that's dope. Even when you brought up the whole BJ book tour thing, it make me think of like Drewski coming out on. I think he was on J. Cole tour.
He's on Chris Brown's.
He was on Chris Brown tour doing a comedian joint?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. I just think it's dope because you just seeing all kind of avenues kind of like cross.
Exactly.
I mean, you got podcasts and live form now, like with Joe Budden and all them. I think it's dope, bro. But yeah, man. Enjoyed all of that, man. Getting into some new stuff for you, man. This show is definitely where the smoke comes in and where we part ways. And so we going to jump into some of these topics when it comes to current NBA season 2023.
Let's get it, man.
Cats rubbing their hands together for this, man. Cats rubbing 5 shots, man. But Luka, man, he's definitely a hot topic every year. He seems to always come in as the NBA favorite. Somebody like Kenny may always feel like that's where it's gonna lean. But is Luka really as good as he's branded? You know what I mean? Like he's like I said, he comes in every year. MVP favorite. I will say from day one, he definitely was a promising talent. Numbers also proved it. I think he came in averaging, I want to say dude averaged like over 25 plus his rookie season. Something crazy
I
like
think I
that.
think he was less than that, but it was some good all around numbers.
It was some good stuff, man, for sure, man. But when you even before we get to the whole question, like, give me your whole spiel on Luka, Loso. Like, how you feel about it when you assess his game, as far as like when he come in as a favorite every year? Do you think it's warranted, or do you think it's a little gassed up?
Man, I think it is warranted. I think that because you got to think about it. He's in a system which is him, right? Just this ball dominant point guard, and obviously he's what, 6'7"?
He like 6'8", 6'9". What is he, Kenny?
Okay.
Yeah, they got him listed. They got him listed as 6'7", but people think he's a little taller than that.
Yeah, he
6'7",
looks a little taller than that.
Okay, so 6'7", right? I mean, he has the ball in his hand. So like your prediction is obviously going to be, if anybody's going to be able to put up the numbers, throughout the whole year, is a guy who's going to be able to have the ball in his hands all the time, right? And so I understand why people are leaning towards that. It's the safe pick. Now, granted, he hasn't won it, right? He hasn't been able to live up, and that's sometimes it's due because his team isn't that good, or somebody else is just having a crazy year. Jokic, he won back to back, right?
Right.
Jokic just won back to back. I do think it's warranted. I think that he's a tremendous talent. I'm actually a fan of the cockiness that he kind of carries himself with. Like, he's always running his mouth. He just feels like he's better than everyone. Remember, his rookie year, he even came out and said, his famous quote was like, it's easier to score in the NBA than it is overseas. That's what he said. And so, and like, you can't really almost like knock him for that, because since his rookie year, he's been averaging like 27 at least.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then this year is 30 plus. So, before we get into the question, I think that Luka has stayed afloat with people's predictions, and he's done his thing. He's on year 5. So, I do think that there's more questions about Luka that I think fanatics about Luka don't try to go ahead and tackle it. They just don't want to have those questions. They want to kind of like shy away from it. It's like, look at the amazing numbers he's putting up, and it's like, okay, but that's not his benchmark. That wasn't the rubric for Luka. Yeah. It was rings. It was winning. It was something other than what we've seen before. And I guess we'll get into that now.
Yeah.
So.
For sure, man. Go ahead, Kenny, my G. You the Luka apologist, I heard, my boy.
You know what's so crazy, bro? I hate the fact that I'm considered the Luka apologist. But the only reason why that is because I'm on a podcast with you, bro. You hate Luka. You hate Luka so much that you force me in this direction. And I keep saying this every episode. Like, for me, it's so funny. So me and Word, again, I say this every time. Y'all are privy to it now. Me and Word have a chat with some of the homies, you know what I'm saying, that we chop it up with it daily, right? And so in the beginning, I would say when we first started the chat, maybe almost 2.5 years ago now, bro.
Right.
He mentioned Luka. I'd be like, oh yeah, Luka cool. Boom, boom, boom. Not much commentary. And he would just start going off. Man, I'm so tired of the league, trying to propagate these white folks, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. At first, you know what I'm saying? Like, at first I was like, okay, cool. Then he just kept going. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because truth be told, dude, not even that nice. They just giving him extra credit. I'm like, well, hold on now. And like, he just kept going. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, then I'm looking at, I'm sorry. So like, you made me go, like, let me take some time and go watch a Mavericks game and start seeing, like, is this dude really overhyped or not? I'm starting to watch Luka like, wait, am I missing something? Because the way that you described Luka was low-key a scrub at first. And then I'm paying attention to Luka. I'm watching the nuances of the game. And I'm like, nah. Then I see that playoff run in the bubble. Because remember, we started this chat before the bubble.
Right.
Wait. Don't call it a playoff run. There was no run for Luka in the bubble. He had playoff games in the bubble, but there was no run, and that's what I get mad about.
Playoff series. No, let's talk about it. Playoff series, but we're gonna talk about that. Playoff series where he's going crazy. Then the next year follows. I feel like he has an even better year, and then obviously we get to where we are now. So like my thing is like Luka. I get it, right? I get it because I would even go throughout history. Steve Nash. Especially, I would even say in certain aspects until later in his career, in which the winning kept up with his reputation. Even like a Dirk Nowitzki at first, right? Because people wanted Dirk to be good so bad before the hardware came, before the Finals MVP came, before the dominance came, where he was like Dirk. People kind of had propagated him to that level, and they've been looking for Larry Bird since Larry Bird. I'm with you on all of that, right? The league has an agenda. But when I think about Luka and I watch the games and I'm looking at the stats and things of that nature, Luka is really as good as advertised. Like, this is not, even though they have an agenda, two things can be true at once. The league has an agenda, and dude is that code. If you want to stop the white boy from scoring, stop him. You know what I'm saying? And they don't. They don't stop him. They don't stop him from going left. They don't stop him from going right. They don't stop him from shooting fadeaways, turnarounds, back to the basket, left hand, left shoulder, right shoulder, like passing, no look pass. Like, he does it all. So, like, for me, it's like...
he does. I want you to stop right there. He does it all on one side of the ball, my G. You see how you stopped right there? He does it all on one side of the ball, and then once it gets to the other side, he says, I'm going to let the other four guys handle their assignment, and
I'm glad.
I'll go guard. I'll go guard.
I'm
trying to keep it a bean with you, my G.
Nobody get in your head.
I'm gonna keep it a bean with you, dog.
And it's not even like, man, you know what? He's giving me effort down there. It's like, yo, he's not interested down there.
He's not, man.
Not
the
true.
type of swagger.
He's not interested.
The type of swagger.
Not true.
And the type of
Let me tell you
Like here's the thing. I remember when they used to try to do that to Curry, right? It was like, oh, he's great offensively, but he's terrible defensively. No.
Yeah.
He's just undersized defensively. Like he can't do anything against those. Luka is 6'9".
Right.
Luka is 6'9".
He should have a mismatch every time he guards somebody.
So my thing is like Curry is literally like built like this, bro. You know what I'm saying? And he's 6'3" at his best. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is like. So of course, dudes like Harden and Tate, all these guys, they're looking for the mismatch with Curry. Right. But when it's Luka, it's like, Luka, you don't have that problem. I would say this, Kenny. I think, to answer the question, I do think that he is good. He's as good as anyone, right? The question though is he as good as advertised, right? That's the key word. Is he as good as marketed? And the way that he is marketed is that he is a championship winner.
Yes.
Is that he is the guy who's supposed to be winning. And here's the thing, right now, he is closer to, and I'm a Harden fan, but he's closer to Harden than he is LeBron.
And that's how they try to market. They try to market Luka as he's the second coming of Bron. That's what they were saying. He's this guy at this frame that has all these abilities. He's nice at passing. I will say he's definitely a shoot first type of guy. Like, I think he does have a better clutch gene than LeBron. I'll say that, and even Harden. But as far as like, he gets, like I always say, he gets treated as if he's overly whelming decorated. The guy doesn't have an MVP. He doesn't have a chip. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, individual performance, he's great. But it's a ton of guys that can fit in that same slot that was never treated how he's been treated. You don't like when I bring up the Russes of the world. You don't like when I bring up the Hardens of the world. All these guys were amazing individual performances, bro. But they never got treated like this. They wasn't coming in as NBA favorites for 3 years in a row. Tell me they were.
Yes.
Come on now.
I'm sad I had to sit through the last 4.5 minutes. You guys are absolutely ridiculous, right? Here's the first issue I have, right? I love how as time goes by, and this is almost actually with anything, as time goes by, revisionist history seems to continue to rewrite itself no matter what we're talking about. Do y'all remember that in LeBron's first 4 years, bro? Like, LeBron wasn't an all defensive anything in his first 4 years. Do y'all forget that? Like, do y'all realize LeBron was a negative defender in the NBA until about year 5 or 6?
You're choosing somebody that you don't choose LeBron James, bro.
You don't have to trust
because no matter what LeBron was on the all defense, the nigga was taking his team to the chip in 3 or 4 years. 2007. Where's Luka doing that? He's not doing that. He's not sniffing rings.
Question. And I hear you. I just want to make sure I heard what you said right. So I'll give you. I don't know. I don't have it in front of me, but I'm gonna believe that what you're saying is true. So he wasn't on the all defensive team, but you're saying that he was a bad defender. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
He's not confident. He's not confidently saying that.
Wait.
He's not confidently saying that. Kenny's not confidently saying that.
Here's the thing. Hold on. Here's the thing. I want y'all to know. I personally know for a fact that LeBron James his work ethic and things of that nature on offense and defense, like it's proven itself. But there were multiple times where you can watch, and you can even go look this up: win shares, opponent efficiency on defensive plays, all of this stuff. Like, this is not like, you can go look at this. People who watch the podcast, please go look it up. Fact check me. LeBron became a great defender, but when he first came into the league, was an athletic liability on that side of the ball. Now, did he grow into being an all defensive player? Absolutely, we know that 100%. And do I think that Luka has LeBron's prospects on defense? I do not. I'm not trying to speak blasphemous. I'm calling it down the middle. But you guys are acting like somebody in year 4 is a finished product at 23 years old. On top of the fact that this year, by the way, Luka is top 10 in steals, top 10 in defensive win shares. He's also top 15 in opponent field goal percentage on one-on-one against somebody next to him. Then here's the thing.
I hate those defensive win share.
None of that stuff matters, because at the end of the day, look, here's the thing. Kenny can drop every defensive statistic that he think that is in favor of Luka, but he would still not pick Luka to go guard the best defender on the opposite side. It doesn't matter. You're not going to do that, bro, because at the end of the day, the eye test. We see this dude get cooked millions of times, bro. What do you mean? What do you mean? No, the eye test. The eye test.
And Kenny, here's the thing, though. I'll be honest, bro. I have never heard in LeBron's first 4 to 5 years
facts
the conversation of him being a bad defender. I just never heard that conversation. You can pull up whatever stat you want. I'm just saying that was never a thing. And I know you're saying like
LeBron came in an elite defender in the league, Los?
No, we didn't. He said not elite. He said a bad defender.
Did he come in a good
bad? Huh?
He was solid.
Okay,
he's always been solid.
Good defender.
He's always been a solid defender, bro. By default.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, Kenny, he shuffled his feet and contested shots. Like, what do you want me to do, bro? He wasn't. Of course, he wasn't.
Luka be crying about, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate that,
bro. Luka is just now getting to have self-composure or self-control, because the dude was always racking up texts, yelling at the refs and the other team running down the court. He wasn't playing defense, dog. We know this dude been leading it. He been leading the league in technical fouls for consecutive years, bro, for some time.
And steals.
That's a fact.
Kenny, steals, bro. I mean, it's just a nasty stat only because you can play the passing lanes, bro. It's not like he's on the ball, poke, and he's going the other way. Like, and on top of that, he's playing like 35 plus minutes on the court. He's gonna get 2. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not really.
Here's to give credence to what Loso is saying, bro. A couple episodes ago, one of the trivia questions was, what was the stat that Curry led in his rookie season, all rookies? It was steals. But we're not gonna go to the say he was a great defender in his rookie season.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that's a little deceiving at times.
I got a question though, fellas. Honestly, this is being serious. Now, apart from any arguments we may have, do y'all believe there's a difference between? I think there's 3 categories for defense. Tell me if y'all agree, or if I'm reaching. There's an all-around defender, somebody who just kind of does it all, right? There's an on-ball defender, somebody who, like, if I need to stop in a last possession or against a star player, you're right. Like Word said earlier, I'm going to send that guy to go play that guy, the best guy on the other team, straight up. And then there's off-ball defenders, sort of like an Allen Iverson or a young Chris Paul. Chris Paul was never a great all-around defender or an all-ball defender, but he made all defensive teams, not because he was such a great defender, but because he played passing lanes so well and anticipated so well. And nobody ever called Chris Paul this amazing defender, but yet he was on all defensive teams. I feel as though, now, look, before I go any further, is that fair to say that those are probably 3 categories?
Yeah, those are categories. Luka's in none of those.
Hold on. Not right now, he's not. But let me tell you like this.
Yeah.
Me and Word had a debate probably I don't know how long this was ago. Let's say a year ago, where he threw out the fact that Chris Paul was an all-world defender, and his reasoning for bringing that up was Chris Paul's selections to the all-defensive team, right? And so that was accepted. That was accepted because Chris Paul has like what 5 or 6. I don't even know how many it is, but
he has like 9 or 12. Like he's like top 3.
He's like 9. But watching the eye test, if you watch the eye test, Chris Paul has never been called a great defender in any stretch. Great anticipator, maybe somebody who plays the passing lanes and gets steals, never called a great defender. In certain arguments for certain players, you guys will accept, oh, look at the stats here. Look at the all defensive team here, blah, 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 blah. But in other stats, now we got to look at the eye test and so what that he's got a steal and a half a game and his top 10 defense years. It doesn't matter. It's all good. He's white.
Go ahead, Loso.
Y'all look crazy for that, bro.
No. So one, I'm not necessarily doing that. I don't even know if I'll go as far as to say that Chris Paul only got those selections because he was playing the passing lanes. Like, I got to go back and, like, Chris Paul was never looked at as a bad defender. I mean, I think that he does play defense. I think that he does go guard the opposing guard. You know what I'm saying? Curry, he's one guy who doesn't, right? Like, but Curry has came out and publicly said, yo, Clay is a better defender. So, of course, I'm going to put him on Kyrie. Of course, I'm going to put him on Russell Westbrook. Even though they're guarding me, I'm going to get this guy to go ahead and guard them. Chris Paul, however, he's going to go back and forth. I just think that that's kind of irrelevant in this convo because Luka's never going to be that. Now, you keep saying, well, it's only year 5. We don't know what it's going to be. You're right. Maybe he might just say one off season, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and lose a couple more pounds. I'm going to shred up and I'm going to go ahead and lock down. Maybe. I don't want to stray away too far from the original premise, though. But so as marketed, right, I'll give you this. What Luka is doing is – like, we haven't really seen it, right? Like, his first 4 years, he makes 3 All-NBA teams, right? Like,
First team,
right? 3. That's 75% of his time in the NBA. And he's going to make it again. He's going to make it again this year, too, right? So, that's unheard of. Here's the thing, though, bro. It's like, all right, you lose to the Clippers. I mean, first, you missed the playoffs your rookie year, right? Then you lose to the Clippers. Then you lose to the Clippers again. 2 first-round exits from the Clippers back-to-back, right? Now, everybody's going to say, well, Los, that's Kawhi. That's Paul George. Those Clipper teams, let's be honest, bro, did they even make it past the second round?
No, Clippers never made it to the conference finals yet. They never made it to the conference finals.
They didn't make it past. So they're
They
only
made it to the conference finals. Not the one that he lost to, but the Clippers made it to the conference finals when Kawhi went out and Paul George took them to the conference finals against Phoenix. They made it to the conference finals. First time in history.
Wait, when Phoenix went to the finals?
When Phoenix went to the finals, they beat the Clippers to go to the NBA finals.
Did they?
I can't recall
thought that. They didn't. Yeah. Because I know they lost. I know in the bubble, the Clippers lost to Denver. Yeah, they lost to Denver after they was up 3-1.
Yep.
And then the other time,
Phoenix went to the finals 2 years ago.
Phoenix went to the finals 2 years ago when they beat the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals. To go to the NBA
Maybe
finals.
they did.
So yeah. Okay. So look. So he loses to both of those guys, right? I mean, he loses to Kawhi and Paul George twice in the first round exit. Mm-hmm. Then last year he finally goes to the Western Conference Finals, right? First round. Let's be honest. That was Jalen Brunson's series, right? Luka was out most of it. Jalen Brunson goes and beats Utah. That's who ends up moving them. Now after that, Luka goes to the second round. And he dominates Phoenix, right? Dominates Phoenix, and then only wins. Did he even win a game against Golden State?
He won a game against Golden State. Yeah,
he won one game against Golden State. Okay, so looking at that, it's just, to me, it's like, okay, you guys are marketing a guy that supposedly is coming in and reaching the Western Conference Finals, reaching the finals, and he's not doing that, bro. The guy, look, on draft day, him and Trae Young was swapped, and you would have swore that was the most lopsided trade ever. Trae Young has averaged 29 and 9 in 2 of his first 4 seasons. Luka hasn't done that once yet. He hasn't averaged 29 and 9 yet. At least 29 points and at least 9 assists. He hasn't done that once.
He hovers around 8 or so, yeah.
On top of that, now he got close, but I'm saying he hasn't done that.
2021, he was 28.4 and he was 28.4 and 8.7. I mean, come on.
Yeah, no. You see what I mean? See, Kenny is the Kenny.
All right.
So what? So look, Kenny. All right, so Trae
Kenny will give him the benefit of the doubt in any situation.
Wait, Kenny, this is my point. Wait, Kenny, this is my point. Then Trae Young reaches the Eastern Conference Finals before Luka reaches the Western Conference Finals, right?
Facts.
All I'm saying, Trae Young just last year, led the league in points and assists. I'm talking about like my thing is like, you would have thought just based off the conversation, if somebody were to say, yo, that trade was an even trade, or yo, Trae Young is better than Luka, it would be blasphemy. And that is my problem, because there's this mysticism around Luka. There's this aura, this false narrative that he is above everyone else, especially in his own draft class, when in reality, if you're just looking at the winning, if you're just looking at like what's been done, I don't know, bro. Like, it's not that far. Now, granted, this year he's having a better year than Trae Young. But when I'm looking at just those two players who was swapped on draft day, Trae Young saw success before Luka.
And hey, Kenny, because I know how Kenny likes to get into this. He likes to look at surrounding pieces. Would you say they had comparable pieces around him? Trae Young is not playing next to an all great talented cast, right?
Here's the thing. I want to be in this, and I'm serious, bro. In every context, I want to answer. I'm going to answer that question absolutely directly. But my thing is this. Again, when we have conversations like this, if we're just going to speak as like fans, then we don't need to debate, because I can just throw out my favorite guy, you can throw out your favorite guy. But I try to be down the line as objective, thinking about what was not only did okay, so what is a franchise doing for the player we're talking about? What type of green light does a player have? Who is the player playing with? Who is the player playing against? What happened that season? Because these factors all make sense. For instance,
context.
You wouldn't mind the argument, and I'm gonna answer your question directly. I'm just gonna say this and answer your question. Mm-hmm. Word wouldn't mind the argument, and I think it would be a decent one to say. Who knows if Phoenix goes to the finals that year? If AD doesn't go down with an injury against LA, I don't even think they get out the first round. But when things happen in certain ways in basketball, when things happen during the season or during a playoff run, it allows individuals who otherwise may not be in certain positions to be in others and find success. When it comes to Trae Young, I'm not saying Trae Young didn't have a hell of a playoffs, but let's be real. He played the Knicks. He then played Philly, who was imploding on themselves. Series.
Hold on, what'd you say about Philly? What'd you say about Philly?
He didn't play Philly, and tell me if I'm making excuses, but you guys watch this unfold. I don't want to make any excuses. You guys watch this unfold. Tell me if I'm capping. Philly,
he had no business beating Philly. He had no business beating Philly.
Yeah, I don't care what the narrative you try to paint around him. Philly beat themselves or whatever. He didn't post to beat.
Follow me and tell me.
He didn't post to beat Philly.
This is why I'm opening the door for y'all to tell me. Mm-hmm. Tell me if I'm tripping. I'm not talking about with Philly, and I actually, especially you were, because we have more conversations. Los, I also expect this of you too. We're not talking about what somebody looks like on paper. We never should, because this is the argument that we're having about Luka right now, right? Just being objective. Right. That Luka on paper versus who Luka is in real life. So let's talk about not Philly on paper. On paper, Los, I'm with you. Trae should have never beat Philly on paper. I can admit that. I'm not trying to make any excuses. What I am saying is this. When you watch Philly on the court, that didn't surprise me. Ben Simmons refused to take a shot. He was ineffective in the half-court defense. He imploded on himself. Joel Embiid then imploded on him. They have problems with the coach, the chemistry. Nobody's hitting shots. Tobias Harris is playing like one of the dudes you pick up at the YMCA. Yeah, no kidding, he's gonna beat Philly. They look terrible.
And Trae Young was hooping. Can Trae get some? Can Trae get some credit?
Oh no! And by the way, you know what I'm saying? Trae played a hell of a series.
So you're trying to convince us that Philly lost that in the Hawks and Trae didn't. They didn't win.
I'm saying if we're being objective, Trae finds success.
I don't have a horse in a race with any one of them. I'm not a fan of neither one of them cats. So why would I lean?
No. I know. I'm more so saying. I don't want to take credit away from where Trae made it. But all that I'm getting at in this whole long thing is to say that, bro, certain cats can find success because of circumstance. He played the Knicks and he played a Philly team who was ready to go. And they already have vacation plans in Cancun, bro. We're not talking about like Trae ran through the league. So again, when you talk about Luka versus Trae,
when he shouldn't have.
Huh?
He ran through the East when he shouldn't have, dog. That's all we trying to say is.
Bro, what happened when he went against the Bucks? That was taken care of very quickly.
Yeah,
the champions? The NBA champions?
Right. That's who won that year. Like,
Best
come on.
player.
Wait. No. Who did Luka lose to last year, Los? The NBA
Warriors.
champions? Yes.
Oh
nigga.
yeah.
That's
No,
what I'm saying.
I'll give him that. The reason why I brought up Trey's playoff run is that he got there before Luka, though. That's what I'm saying. And what the conversation is not even that is Luka better than him. The conversation is, yo, if you were to even have a conversation about that Trey and Luka conversation, it's like, oh, this is blasphemy. You're really gonna compare Trey, and it's like, yeah, I am. Why can't we? Why can't I? Oh, because of these false narratives that and that's why I kind of lean towards Word a little bit. There is this agenda to make him seem as if he's accomplishing more than what he really is.
Man.
Not that he's better than what he is, but that he's accomplishing more. You would have thought the guy was just coming in the league, going to the Eastern Conference Finals back to back, and then the NBA Finals. Oh wait, no, he didn't. You know who did? Jason Tatum. That's who was doing that, bro. And is Tatum even 20? Is Tatum even 25?
He's 24, bro. He don't even turn 25 till March, bro. Like
24 years old.
Yeah,
Put
man.
respect on Tatum.
And look, dog. Look, man. He's getting treated like Luka gets treated like he's Bron, bro. That's what they want this guy to be, and he's not Bron. Like LeBron was coming in, and mind you, bro, LeBron was dragging teams that had no business in the deep runs of the playoffs or the finals. Like, you still got some comparable guys. Like we said, Kristaps is over there. He leaves. He have a better year than playing next to him. It's a multitude of things that I think that when it come to Luka, bro, he needs to look.
Ain't true.
No. Kenny. He is having.
I'm trying to tell you,
he's having a little better year. But I would say this: like, it's not like Kristaps went to Washington and they started winning. I'll give you that, right?
I'm just saying he's played better around somebody else other than somebody like Luka. When you think somebody the abilities of Luka, should he be able to make guys around him better? He should. He draws all the attention in the world. He can facilitate. But what happens? The guy plays too slow, man. He needs to lose weight. He needs to actually get on defense and play defense. And he's not that great of a leader. He's not that great of a leader, bro. I think he just likes to go out there and have fun and show he think he better than everybody else. He ain't out there trying to get to the dubs and get to the chips, bro. I don't feel like he on that type of level to me, bro. I look at the intangibles.
I feel like if Luka was a black man from St. Louis, bro,
we
would not be having this conversation.
He moved too, bro. Cats from St. Louis don't move that slow. Cats don't move that slow, bro.
Let me say this. As slow as you claim that he moves, Jokic has literally won 2 MVPs moving that much slow.
You know why?
I don't understand.
You know why? Jokic is a 7-footer. You know Jokic, bro, hold on. Jokic has better team success. He has a better team success. He's already been to the conference. Yes, bro. He's the number one. They the number one team in the league right now. Bro, Luka fighting to stay above 500.
Jokic has a bunch of playoff runs?
No, I say he has better team success. He's the number one team in the league right now. He's been to a conference finals. He has MVPs. Like,
if you win 60 games, bro, and lose in the first or second round,
he's had runs where he had no Murray and they were still. Did he have not a consistent run where he had no Murray and they were still relatively a good team? What are we talking about? He's played with Murray.
The Nuggets with no Murray is who Dallas has essentially had since Luka's been there, bro. What are we talking about?
No,
Jokic
bro.
had no
but
Murray,
Jokic,
and he had no Michael Porter Jr.
That's what I'm. This dude, you capping too much.
Michael Porter Jr. in the NBA. He's played 25 games.
Bro, you capping too much. Like Luka don't know how to win games, bro. He just know how to play good.
His second, Kenny. That's Jokic's second.
He don't win games, bro. He don't.
But
this nigga don't win like that.
Bro, let me tell y'all. Let me give y'all some facts. This Porzingis run that y'all.
I don't know. You running too much, bro. You running from all this other stuff, dog.
Kenny, can I say something?
Jokic, you know it, Los. This is why I can't stand you. You know it. Because Los, here's the thing about Los.
He knows what?
I've known Los since I was very young, bro. Los,
we finna get off this nigga Luka, man.
One of the funniest dudes you will be around, and Los also low key is one of the best trolls I've ever been around because he can keep a straight face. He can be with you and be lying the whole time because he's so good at it. Let me tell you something about Los.
Oh my God.
Let me give you some real stats for real. One of Los's favorite player to ever play in the NBA that I know of since I've known him is Carmelo Anthony. He had Kristaps Porzingis at a time during Kristaps Porzingis' ascension. Carmelo's last year in New York, Carmelo was still the star of that team. They were getting ready to force him out, and Porzingis was the guy that they were trying to make to be the better player. Do you know Melo went through something and missed 10 games? Do you know during that 10-game stretch, Porzingis had all NBA numbers of 27, 13, and 3 blocks while Melo was out of the lineup? Why? Because he was featured. Do you know there's a guy from St. Louis that you really like, Word, who's not named Jason Tatum, but the name of Bradley Beal, who's only played 23 games this year in the NBA? And that's the reason why Porzingis is a featured player in the lineup. And that's why you've seen his increased numbers,
it's only 30 games
rating,
so far.
and things of that nature.
That's not a huge part of the
Here's
season.
Here's what I'm saying. Porzingis doesn't play well with anyone. Because if Porzingis isn't featured, he doesn't do the things necessary to be a proper second man with any star player. If Porzingis isn't getting the ball, he doesn't produce.
Bradley Beal, if Bradley Beal played 23 games, bro, it's only been about 30 plus games right now. That's not like an entire half of the season. You still have to deal with somebody, and then you got Kyle Kuzma over there as well that also has taken a lot of the ball usage over there. He's playing next to other guys that are comparable to actually being solid.
Kyle Kuzma gets his stuff. Kyle Kuzma can play in any system because he's not a ball heavy guy though. What I'm saying is anybody who plays with Porzingis who needs the ball the way that stars need the ball, Porzingis just doesn't play ball with them because he thinks he should be the feature option. He was slacking off in defense in New York, slacking off in defense in Dallas, simply because he was mad that the other players were featured above him. Also, let me let you guys know something about Luka in the playoffs. As good as Luka is in the regular season, in the playoffs, the white man gets better. He gets that
because he goes out earlier. He doesn't have a lot of deep runs.
Not true.
He doesn't have a lot of deep runs.
So much better. He gets so much better that the only two dudes that can compare to him stats-wise from what we've seen in the entire NBA.
Now watch who he named. Watch how wide. Look at the gap games between them. You naming dudes that have hundreds of games in the playoffs versus a dude window sample size is a fraction of them guys. How many games? Tell me the games.
Bro, in his first, I think he's played 74 games.
Versus who? Versus all them other guys you just named. How many games they played? And how many rings they got?
Wait. His thing.
How many rings they got? You name it. See, that's what I'm saying. You naming guys with rings.
The stat is their first 75 games, though, Word. I'm taking their sample size along with his, Negro. It's the same sample size.
Do they got rings? Do them guys got rings?
Later, yeah, because they played 20.
No, you said 75, but you said 70. Well, you said Michael Jordan, right?
I said their first 75. I said you take the first 75 games of any player to play basketball. The only two player stats that compare with him in league history is Wilt Chamberlain and Michael Jordan.
But do them guys got rings though? You talking about guys with rings, and he's not there. He don't have a ring. Why are we talking about guys with rings?
Team sport.
But dog, basketball, you can affect.
Exactly.
It is a team sport. It is a team sport.
That's a good point, Ken.
Guys can carry other teams. Guys can carry.
And
is that not true?
It's not even about, and it's not even so much about, why is Luka not carrying them to wins? Here's the bigger question though, Kenny. It is a team sport. So forget about Porzingis then. Can you give me one Dallas player that you would say, yo, you know what? He's elevated his game alongside Luka. You know what I'm saying? Like Brunson, we saw him do that when Luka got out, when Luka was injured. That's when Brunson made his name. Boom, he gets paid and he goes to New York, which Dallas dropped the ball, let's be honest. The Dallas front office, they dropped the ball on not trying to keep him over there. But even if he does keep him over there, what does that look like with Luka's style of play, right? This is the same. This is why we're saying he's closer to James Harden, which isn't necessarily a knock. It's only a knock because of the narrative around Luka. He's closer to James Harden than he is LeBron. If Luka was really that dude, and here's the thing, people say like, yo, look who he's playing. He's playing with Finney and he's playing with Hardaway. He's playing with, all these other guys. But it's like, I don't know. Those guys, first of all, Hardaway's not terrible, bro. He's a good player. Second of all, if they're good, who are they going to surround him with? I just want to know, like, give me a type of player that you think is going to go to Dallas, one, see the style of play that Luka's been playing, another star, right? Because that's what we're talking about. Give him another guy who can
give him another guy. I want to hear Kenny.
Like Kenny, do you think Zach LaVine works in Dallas?
No. I don't think right now, the way Zach LaVine has showed up this year, Zach LaVine doesn't work in the G League right now. I don't want Zach LaVine.
All right, just give me somebody then. Give me somebody. He want to take shots.
But if we're talking about who Luka can play with, I think if Chris Paul decided to retire today, and you put Luka in Phoenix, they wouldn't skip a beat.
Nah,
right next to Devin
I'm not
Booker.
giving him that.
Devin Booker is someone who, if the attention Luka demands on the court, if Devin Booker got those opportunities next to Luka Doncic, they'd absolutely be in the finals.
What? You're gonna turn Booker into a spot up 3 shooter?
No, it's not even about to be a spot up 3 shooter. But I'm saying Devin Booker would be that much efficient next to Luka. Now Devin Booker still handled the ball, but what I'm saying is next to Luka, Devin Booker would literally be Klay Thompson.
He slows that tempo. He slows that team down too. That's the problem. He slows them guys too down, bro. He slows them down too much, bro. Like them guys, they get out. They got guys that's looking to get that ball immediately when they get to going. Does he do that? He got the slowest tempo in Dallas right now in the league.
Absolutely, he got the slowest tempo.
And he's not the type of style that he's not Chris Paul. Chris Paul's a pass first type of guy. He's looking to get guys going. So is Luka willing to take off about what? He's averaging 33 right now. Is he taking off about 8 points?
5 points.
And boosting up like 5 to 8 points and boosting up his.
I would say.
I don't know if he's doing that. I don't know if he's doing that.
I would say more like 4 to 6, but I would say more like 4 to 6. But I would also be honest with you. Again, this is my question to y'all as well, right? Let's say I'm tripping on a lot of what I'm saying. Let's just break it down from a basketball sense and talking about like how you guys watch the games. When you watch Dallas, some of it is Luka dribbling the air out the ball. I'll admit that. I'm not crazy. But other parts of it is Dallas. They come down. Let's say it's Luka, right? He starts the offense. He gives it to Hardaway Jr. Hardaway Jr. can't put the ball on the floor, so he gives it to Finney Smith. Finney Smith can't put the ball on the floor, so he gives it to JaVale McGee. JaVale McGee can't put the ball on the floor. Passes it back out to Luka. It's 4 seconds left. He would not have that problem if he were playing with a guy who also could create a shot. Luka is actually more of a willing passer than y'all want to give him credit for. The slow tempo, I'm with you, but the passing, I don't think he would have a problem if he knew he was kicking at the Devin Booker, who could absolutely break you down on defense. I don't think he has that problem.
Kenny, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying. I know you said Luka going to Phoenix, but I'm saying, can you give me a guy who you think one would be willing to go to Dallas, right? And let's say he does go to Dallas, and obviously he's not a superstar, but just a player who would go create his own shot that you think, you know what, you put him in Dallas, they win more, and he would be able to go ahead and still do his thing and elevate his play alongside Luka. Like who? Like somebody like a DeRozan?
DeRozan's range is my concern, but yeah, I think DeRozan would work, but not even DeRozan. I'll say it like this. If Jaylen Brown, let's say, were on the trade, if Jaylen Brown was someone on the trailer market, I think they would be fine together. Not a problem. I don't think that would be an issue at all. If he were there, I think. Let me see.
Jaylen Brown right now. Look. Jaylen Brown right now is averaging what, 27?
Yeah,
he's averaging 27 in Boston.
He probably averaged 30 in Dallas, low key, and I'm only saying that because Tatum's been so dominant offensively. The offense now in Boston, and rightfully so, by the way, is now been given to Tatum. And so it kind of works better in Tatum's favor, and Jaylen Brown kind of gets into those spots where Tatum is not dominating. So if you go to Dallas and let's say replace Finney's production or Finney's minutes with Jaylen Brown would probably average 30 in Dallas. Yeah, I think that would work.
I just don't think Luka allows that, but
I think Luka's gonna end up being just like James Harden, honestly, just with a better postseason. That's it. He ain't like, I'm done talking about that nigga, man. Let's go to the next one.
Yeah, man.
I'm so sick of that nigga already, dog. Loso picks, man. NBA Finals MVP, man. Give me some of your if you want to drop some of your hottest takes to us, dog. If you got some dark horses or or just straight up your predictions for this season, MVPs, NBA Final matchups. Who you got, G?
All right, man, before the season, I thought it was going to be a repeat. I thought we was going to see Boston and Golden State. Right now, with the sample size of like 30-plus games that we have, man, I think I'm going to have to go with I know this is gonna sound crazy because it's like, all right, are we really gonna trust them? But I think Brooklyn does it this year, man.
Wow.
I think Brooklyn, yeah,
wow,
that's crazy.
I know it's crazy, but they've won what, 8 games in a row?
They've won about 8 to 9,
Yeah, pretty much. They won like
8 games in a row.
Yeah.
Their new coach seems to be emphasizing defense. Kyrie and KD, Seth Curry is healthy. They look like Claxton is up there, you know what I'm saying, locking up and doing this thing. Like, I just feel like it looks like they're putting the pieces together and they can compete with anybody. And obviously the two teams that they really have to go ahead and get past, obviously, are Boston and Milwaukee.
Yeah.
But I just think that right now, I'm gonna go ahead and side with them. And in the West, I'm gonna be real, bro. It's so up in the air. Like
It is.
Like from top to bottom, bro. Like Denver's number one, right? But I don't really know if I have that much confidence to say that they're gonna go ahead and just skate through the playoffs. Golden State, they can't win the road game, but I don't know if they get in if they're just truly the underdogs. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they get healthy, if Wiggins gets healthy, if Curry gets healthy, if Wiseman starts playing better, like, I just don't know if I'm gonna go ahead and count them out.
Yeah.
And then Memphis, bro. And Ja, you asked for this game.
Right.
You said you wanted the Warriors on Christmas Day. This wasn't like a regular season game, bro. This was the primetime Christmas Day game. You got Dylan Brooks.
That was a
you said
statement
you were
game.
gonna lock Clay up.
Yeah.
Dylan Brooks said you weren't even guarding Clay. You were guarding Poole, and he lit you up. And then Clay still outscored you. Like, my thing is, like, and everybody was healthy. Bane was back, goes 0 for 7 from the 3. Jared Jackson's back.
Yeah.
They basically got a big four. You know what I'm saying? John Morant, Brooks, Bane, and Jared Jackson. And my thing is, like, y'all lose to Poole and Draymond. And so I don't even know if I can count on you. So that Western, if I just had to say, man, and I don't even feel like saying the Warriors because it's like they can't win a freaking road game, bro.
That's the safe pick to go with, though.
It's the safe pick, but I don't know about this year because they're dead last in road games. They're first in home games, but they're dead last in road games. And so, I mean, if I had to, man, maybe
You ain't gonna go with Kenny. Kenny think Pelicans gonna be in that giant.
Possible.
they too young. But that'll be a dope story, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Will be a dope
I would
story.
say this though. Here goes a hot take.
Here we go.
Actually, it would have been a better hot take. It would have been a better hot take a week ago because right now. But I do think that Zion should start over LeBron in the All-Star game. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Hold on, man.
It's not going to happen. Look. And the reason why, two things why it's not going to happen. One, LeBron actually just scored 30 points for the seventh time.
He's on a tear right now. He's going nuts.
Right? And then on top of that, he's doing it in year 20. So it's almost like, nah, bro, we really going to make LeBron come off the bench in year 20 type of thing. But just the way Zion's been playing, you want to reward him for doing this. Brandon Ingram wasn't really playing that much. And then on top of that, the Pelicans are the 2 seed, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I want to reward Zion on that, you know what I'm saying? So that was my hot take for that. MVP, as nasty as it sounds right now,
I know where he's going.
I know where he's going too. If he's saying this as nasty as it sounds, I think I know where he's going.
As nasty as it sounds, man, bro. You might have to call Jokic for that.
I told you, I knew he's going.
bro, I don't know what he's doing. And this is the thing, though. And here's the thing. I was gonna say Tatum.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Tatum, right? But here's the problem. Like, for Tatum to win MVP, he has to win at least maybe about 6 more games than Giannis. 6 or 7 more games than Giannis. Because they're going to have similar numbers. Giannis is going to have a little bit better numbers, right? Like rebounding, points. He's probably going to be like a point and a rebound higher than Tatum. But here's the thing. Even if Tatum gets the number 1 seed, they're going to say Giannis was getting most of this done without Chris Middleton when Chris Middleton was out. And on top of that, Tatum, you got a 27-point scorer right next to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that the Celtics would still be winning games if you wasn't in there. I'm just saying you have 27 points that you could count on night in and night out right next to you, where Giannis not so much. So I think Tatum needs to, if he wants that MVP, he has to make sure that the Celtics have about 6 to 7 more wins than the Milwaukee Bucks. If not, they're going to go out west. And I mean, it's going to be really tough for Jokic to win because
that third time in a row would be nuts.
Who did that? Who's the last person to do that? Bird?
Last time to win 3 in a row, MVPs in a row?
Yeah.
I have no clue, bro. I have no clue. I can look it up right quick. Let me see, man. It would probably be somebody. It probably had to be Jordan or something. I mean, Jordan definitely probably got 3 in a row, right? Brian, I think Derrick Rose broke his run up.
There was
Larry Bird, 1983 to 86. Larry Bird.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I guess Derrick Rose broke it up for Brian. 2011, they thought Brian was supposed to get it, but Derrick Rose won like 60 plus games, 25, 6 and 6 or something like that. So yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting, dog. Cause I agree, man. Like I know you ain't want to say it, or it's a nasty thing to say, but Jokic, it's nasty because his game is so nasty, not in a good way, but a bad way. I can't stand watching Jokic, bro. Like. You thought Tim Duncan was like, slow and whatever. It's just he all up on the perimeter. I mean, he be hitting word off the wrong foot shots. I be like, bro, I can't. Like I watched that game last night and it was quite exciting because it was intense. But I'm looking at his game and I'm like, bruh, even if I was a citizen in Denver, bro, I don't even know if I had season tickets because if I'm watching him every night, bro, I mean, I wouldn't even want to watch. I'd be watching for everybody coming in. Like, my favorites.
He does do some really good passes though. So I mean, like he's not just out there just kicking it back out. But I mean, hey, I would say though, Kenny, I like the Pelicans pick, but I probably would kind of lean towards Denver a little bit. Jokic is just playing too good. Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray looking like he was looking when he was in the bubble.
You know who the second best player over there, bro? Aaron Gordon is the second best player over there. I'm convinced.
Aaron Gordon's flying all around. He's flying. Bro, he has dunk of the year right now.
He does, bro. But that dude, he plays both sides of the ball, bro. And he really I think he's really buying into his role over there. Like he wanted to be the guy in Orlando. But I feel like that's a perfect system in Denver for him. They got a pecking order. Jamal, I think they still overpaid him, but I think he's kind of settling to being not really an all-star type of player, just kind of a great PG. And Aaron Gordon, dog. Yeah, I think he really bought into their team over there. I will hold on to him if they ain't already give him some money, dog.
Yeah, I agree.
Michael Porter Jr., he's underperformed. I think in his mind. Y'all remember when he was talking crazy to Luka, dog? Mm-hmm. He had that bubble. Did he get bubble MVP? I think Dame did, but he was in the mix.
Yeah,
they did like a first all team for the bubble, and I think he made it. And I think he thought that was his coming out party, but it ain't go so well for him, man. What you got? You got anything to react to that Kenny G, to his picks?
No, I mean I ain't gonna lie. I'm surprised that he went with Brooklyn, but you know what? I can't act like this isn't the Brooklyn we had hoped to see for a long period of time.
Yeah,
this kind they look like the team we've been hoping to see since they got together. So, I mean, in my opinion, one of my favorite players to really ever watch, especially in his peak form, was Kyrie Irving. Watching young Kyrie, do what he did in the postseason, some of those big shots, head-to-head matchups with Curry, has been incredible. So if Kyrie can tap into that come playoff time, if KD can continue to have the career year he's been having,
yeah,
I don't see why they couldn't figure something out and get there. It's not a crazy pick, but that was probably the biggest thing for me, just being shocked that he decided to put his faith in the Nets because I feel like they've been the most inconsistent team that you can put your trust in. Because somewhere down the road, that Kyrie goes to Sage or wants to go on vacation to Africa and follow his roots. And
come on, man, you gotta stop. You gotta stop doing my boy like that, man.
It's true, bro. Like he gets up one day and just feels like let me go talk to my ancestors, and then you don't see him for like 3 months. I don't know what's going on with him, bro.
Nah, man, that is a surprising pick, but I think I just think they would have to be playing like otherworldly, like to beat Boston, because what Boston did to them last year, bro. I didn't have Boston sweeping them, but once I seen it, I think that's all they have to remember to beat them again. Like we did these. Like I think if Kevin Durant was like the best player in your mind, like when Tatum or Jaylen Brown was looking at them guys, that now that they beating they're like idols and who they looked up to, they becoming easier to beat now. And that's what I kept telling people. Like JB and JT are only getting better every game. Like I think they like have one of the highest duos ever points per game. They got 14 plus games of both scoring 30 each. Like they playing insane. And then they cast. They cast is nuts. You got Brogdon coming off the bench. Derek White is playing better than he's ever played, and I didn't like that dude at all. And then you got Al Horford, the veteran. You know what I mean? Marcus Smart. I love, sometimes he jumps the gun with trying to do too much, but what you get from out of defense and him being more facilitator is nice. But yeah, man, I'm done talking about Celtics, man. I can't, Grant, Robert Williams. I can't talk too much about them guys, man. Laker Nation gonna kill me, man. But man.
Hey, show the love, brother. It's all right.
Nah, bro. Hey, catch no on the reason why I talk about them is because Tatum.
That has to be. That's what I'm about to say. That has to be tough for you though, like you being Laker Nation and then obviously St. Louis with Tatum.
Yeah. I often have to say a disclaimer, like the caveat is Tatum, man. You would never catch me talking that much about that, man. But man.
Hey, word. Look.
What up?
The Lakers been failing you, bro. AD's bones been brittle. Come on over, man. Come on over and rock with your guy Tatum, man. Come on over.
Hey, man, you crazy, man. Still in the last couple of years, we still, even though we ain't been, year in and year out contenders, hey, we still got a chip in recent memory, dog. So we Gucci, man. AD, man, yeah, he's glass. I mean, man. Let's get off of AD, because when I think about him, I get a headache, bro. Man, it'd be so terrible. But, man, switching to the music side, man. Man, we had some fun conversation before we got on here over the last few months talking about Drake and Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny's been on an otherworldly run. Drizzy, it feel like, it's harder to see when the run began rather than to see when it's going to end. You know what I mean? Because, when I get to talking about that guy, I kind of get lost in what he's all done. But, man, I think Bad Bunny definitely has recently been doing just crazy numbers. Like when you look at the recent album, how long it sat on the charts at number one, not just sitting on the charts, but sitting at number one this year. I think he may have contested for breaking the record. Yeah. And then when you go to his live shows, I mean, it looked like World Cups every night. You know what I mean? Like, no kizzy, dog. Like, I mean,
World Cups is crazy, bro.
I'm trying to tell you, though, like, it just looked otherworldly, though, man. So, I mean, when you think of Bad Bunny, I mean, before we even get to the question, like, what's your relationship with Bad Bunny, if any, with his music more so?
I mean, I'm just like, so I don't really like tune in to listen to him. It's more so like you can't deny it. It's almost like you gotta like tap in and be like, okay, why is he able to do what he's doing? You know what I'm saying? But that's just because I don't, I'm more just hip hop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just hip hop, it's just rap and whatnot. But I am looking at, like you said, I mean, the videos come out of what he's doing. And it's like, I'm asking myself a question. I'm like, okay, who else? Because obviously Drake hasn't been on tour since what, 2018?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now he did announce that he's going on tour. So I am curious to see what that looks like in 2023, which I think him waiting actually helped out. You know what I'm saying? Like him waiting for so long actually helped out. So I'm curious to see. But I also sit back and I ask myself, I'm like, yo, is Harry Styles doing those numbers? Is Taylor Swift doing those? Is The Weeknd? Like, I'm trying to think what other. Because I know it's not another rap artist. Drake is the only rap artist who's going to be able to do something that looks
similar,
like that.
right? Similar.
But when I'm looking at, like you said, it looks like the world. It looks like floods of people, bro. And I'm like, yo, I have to ask myself, like, because I really don't know. I'm like, yo, when Harry Styles goes on tour, does it look like that?
Yeah.
Does Taylor Swift look like that? Does Adele look like that? I don't know.
The only person I can say, like, in this era that's comparable to doing stuff like that I've seen is Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran, he's been doing football. Honestly, I think it got something to do when it comes to international acts. Like even when American and acts from the States go international, typically when you look at the footage, their concerts are crazier. Like they're filling out more. They only come every once in a while. So I think that's why that happens. But when you from there and you packing out that, I think that's where the advantage come in.
Word, and that makes a good point because like somebody like Chris Brown who just did his tour, he just announced his Europe tour and he sells it out in one day.
Right, yeah.
Nuts. He sells out in one day and you're like, whoa, like you didn't do that in America. Now granted you did good numbers in America.
Right. But
he sold out all of his shows in one day. And that just goes to show you like UK, they probably just support. They just support different. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's. I mean, even when I think about like I spent some time like reacting and just investigating in the K-pop world, bro, and just they community, dog. it's just different, bro. Like they artists, the way they are developed and the way that they fans support, it's really like a cult following for almost every act over there. Like you can go viral in the States, and that necessarily doesn't mean you're gonna have hard ticket sales and people gonna come to the shows.
Yeah.
Over there, if you it's pretty much gonna be mirrored to what people are seeing online. But yeah, man, what you got, Kenny?
Listen, man, Daddy Yankee crawled so that Bad Bunny can walk.
He gonna keep saying that.
Right. Straight up though, bro. Gasolina opened the door for all of this, bro. I just wanna give flowers to Yankee, man, because you know he may not get the respect and the love. But no, Bad Bunny is so funny. My first time being privy to Bad Bunny was I think 2018, and I was having a conversation with somebody who was really like in that scene. And they was putting me on, and I was like, "Oh, this sound fire," but like, you know, I don't know what to do saying or whatever the case may be. Never thinking that later on, Bad Bunny would be somebody that is like a force to be reckoned with, like breaking Spotify numbers and crazy crap like that. So, like, I think with Bad Bunny, I don't have obviously because I'm a hip hop fan, R&B stuff like that. Like, I don't have the greatest relationship with Bad Bunny's music and always like tapping in and peering in. But you can't deny what he's doing from a fan interest point of view. You can't deny what he's doing from a streaming point of view, and you also can't deny what he's doing from like an overall impact to the point to like be so big in his sphere that. You know, Cardi B's got to throw him on, you know, I Like It and stuff like that, just to get the crossover appeal, just to make like his fan base translate to a big American artist. So like this dude is an absolute force. Bigger than Drake's gonna be hard because I feel like even overseas, and when you think about like music, I know music is universal and everywhere, and obviously you got people doing tours in every place, but I still feel like every especially when you talk about the entertainment capital, that's what the West is. That's what the United States is. And so if you're big here in America, right, which Drake is, and he's Canadian, and he also touches every single genre in almost every space and every body of music, it's going to be hard because he's already big where it matters most. And then that translates to him being big overseas because he works with all the artists from these respective areas. Like, think about it. Drake is with Gigs one day. Then he's with, what's your boy from...
Wizkid.
Wizkid, you know what I'm saying? Or something like that. Like, he's touching every avenue. So, like, I think Bad Bunny is going to have an uphill battle, but it's incredible what he's doing and the amount of support that he's getting. And I think the fact that we're even having this conversation goes to show that, like, in his space, how much he's dominated, and it's not even close.
Yeah. So I'll say the word. I'm gonna definitely swing this to you, but I definitely want you guys to answer this for me though, because I would assume that Drake is the bigger artist, but I think all those points you just made though, Kenny, gives more credence as to why we have to say that Bad Bunny is the bigger artist. One thing you started off, you said Daddy Yankee crawled so that Bad Bunny could walk, right? Here's the thing. Yeah. Daddy Yankee at least had a crossover record, right? Like I remember being in high school, middle school, and everybody was singing Gasolina. Like there was an English version, there was a hip hop version of that. I remember, just years ago, Despacito was a crossover record. Justin Bieber ends up doing a remix to that. Yeah. It breaks records with that song, right? Bro, I can go right now where I can go across the street and to the basketball courts and be like, yo, do y'all know who Bad Bunny is? They all gonna say, yeah, we know who Bad Bunny is. Give me a song. Give me the name of a song. And they wouldn't know. There's no crossover record. There's no crossover record that he has. And for him not having those crossover records, right? And to be able to go ahead and break these tour records, to break these Spotify records. I mean, I was looking just before we got on here, Word, and I know you appreciate this. On Instagram, right? Drake is currently at 128 million followers, right? Obviously, he's been out longer than Bad Bunny. Mm-hmm. Bad Bunny's at 44 million, 128 to 44. But their engagement is nowhere close. Bro, Drake posts a picture and at on a good him and Wayne, him on tour, just a picture of himself or something like that, is gonna probably do 1 million likes, 2 million likes, which is good. Bro, Bad Bunny posts a picture of just himself sipping something through a straw. It's 8 million likes.
Yeah.
The engagement off of a third of the followers that Drake has. You know what I'm saying? And so the engagement is crazier. The tour, like Word said, bro. When you look at the tour stops, bro, it's just like we didn't even know that many people were in that city, bro. It looks like everybody got a ticket to freaking, and the prices that he's putting on these tickets are crazy. Yeah. I never went to one, but yo, my sister, everybody, they're like, yo, we paid X amount of dollars for it. And I'm like, what? That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went to, you know what I'm saying? I went to the Kendrick Lamar, I went to the J. Cole, and I went to the Chris Brown concert. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always gonna go to those 3 concerts. But bro, I got like close seats on all of them. And I think maybe the most I spent, maybe like 2. But for like somebody like getting a Bad Bunny concert, bro, they were spending like 4 or 5 and they weren't even close, bro. And so I just think that because we don't know his songs, because all that stuff, and he's still able to do the numbers that he does, bro, he has to be the bigger artist. And I think he is the most he's the most streamed artist now, right? Right, Word? Did he pass Drake?
Nah, he's still 6 billion, I think, below him. Yeah. Okay. I got a graphic over here I could throw up. Yeah,
but is he 2?
He is second. He is second. No, he's second.
So he passed Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, and them.
Yep, he passed them. Yeah,
and now his album this year though is the #1 album still, right? Nobody beat that. Buddy's album's #1.
Total consumption, I believe it is the #1 album. I think the only person
not even streamed. I'm talking about just like even like sales. Like he did the most sales this year.
Yeah, I think because what's her name? She dropped Midnight's Taylor Swift. That album I think did like 1.5 in the first week, and then
which was crazy.
Was nuts. But
I think that I think if I remember, you correct me if one of y'all got access to it. Yeah. I think Bad Bunny did like 3 something, bro. And Word made a point about like how long he was on the billboards, bro. I think he was like #1 for like 16 or 17 straight weeks, bro.
It was something crazy.
The lowest he dropped, Kenny, was 2.
Yeah, he's still top 10 right now. He's still moving. I think like 50,000 units a week, which is
crazy.
But he's like in his like he's probably like in 30 plus week now. Like, and he's still top. This is crazy, bro. But yeah, like the top 5 most streamed artists is Drake with 53 billion. And then you got Bad Bunny at 47, Ed at 39, Taylor at 38, The Weeknd at 36. The Weeknd is another insane artist too. He's gonna be out of here for years too. And
Bad Bunny was on. He was in WWE. He fought at WrestleMania. And he was just in the movie Bullet Train, bro. Yeah. Fighting against Brad Pitt. Like, my thing is, like, the things that he's doing, bro, it's just like, yo, this is kind of crazy, bro.
Nah, he's going kind of... And here's the thing. What I will say is, you know, man, in this world, bro, when you start to do certain things that tap into certain communities that like, when you brought up them engagement numbers, like, it's you get certain engagement from certain communities that some other acts just won't get. And so I want to say his sexual preference is, I want to say he's on the side of bisexual, or his preference is at least women and guys, because he was on stage and I believe he kissed a guy. So when you get into part of that LGBTQ community, like, yeah, bro, you got it. That's another audience that Drake probably never really holistically get.
I know he got a girl though. I know he got a girl, but you're right. He might be. I mean, but even though he kind of presents himself as like bi anyway. Though.
That's what I mean. Like, if I see you doing this and you doing this, I only can assume you may be this. I ain't saying it's definite, but the point is just about him being getting certain audience that sometimes other acts won't be able to get. But when you look at, I think you have to define bigger, or because bigger sometimes could be success, right? And I think that bigger can either be like maybe what you see live, what you see on the charts, what you see first week. When I look at consumption of all of those things, I come to the fact that I think Drizzy probably checks off all the boxes at the highest rate on all of them. When you look at first week, I think Drake averages like 400 plus. He has weeks where he won 1 million in the first week with views. His recent album, Her Loss, did 400K. Like, those are the type of feats or accomplishment that Bad Bunny has yet to see have been done yet. I will say he has stand power as one of his highest things, though. When you can sit on the charts at #1 for consecutive weeks of 10 plus to 15 plus weeks, that's nuts.
Crazy.
Drake has had one of the most profitable, I think the most profitable hip hop at least, tour of all time. And before that, it was the Niggas in Paris tour with Ye and Hove. When you look at number ones and then top tens, like that's the purest form of engagement to me. What do your fans do on the charts? You see what I'm saying? Like, liking the picture, cool. But what are your fans doing on the charts? Because Nicki Minaj engagement on social media is nuts. But they don't support her. They don't support her in the charts, like the actual music. And I think streaming is the biggest form of engagement. People are constantly listening to your music, and he's the number one year in and year out, right? That's why he typically takes home all the awards at Billboards, because Billboards isn't like who's the better. It's a matter of what did the numbers say. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when I look at stuff like that, bro, I think I still got to come down and say Drake, man. And also I look at, I guess this don't necessarily say bigger as of right now, but how long to maintain that is tough. That's why I say I don't even know when if I can even see the end of his run. How does Drizzy come off of his high? It's very hard. You know what I mean? It's very hard. So, yeah, I'd say all of that to say I think Drizzy's probably still got that title, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. On both sides, bro. Lowe's definitely educated me on Bad Bunny, bro, because I think like we can't sleep on what this dude is doing. And I will say, for him to be what he is in a market where, not saying that Americans don't embrace people that don't speak English, like or are predominantly utilizing English as their first language, but it's rare that the star power that he's displaying without, making music geared towards English-speaking individuals.
Just one, Kenny. Just one one crossover record, bro. Even the Drake record that he had early on in his career.
Hey, that was the beginning of Bad Bunny officially, though. Yeah, I looked at when things spiked, and before that, he had never had any record that went higher than it. It went number 5. After that, something literally just went crazy.
Yeah, but after that though, like that record isn't even one of his biggest. And so my thing is you ask people about that record though, the average guy, you would have thought that would have been a crossover, like I said, like Despacito or something. Like, nah, that was just a regular Drake and Bad Bunny record. To me, I almost feel like that record didn't live up to the hype of what it should be. And you get the two. Now they need to do one now.
They need to do one now, I feel like
they need to do one now. At that time, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was what it was. But like think about that, Kenny. Like, all those other guys, anytime a Latin artist has something crazy, you like, oh yeah, I remember this being on Hot 97. Or I remember this being the biggest. Despacito broke the record on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Or this like Gasolina was everybody knew that song, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, yo, why doesn't he doesn't even have one English crossover record, and he doesn't need it, bro. And it almost seems like he has no interest in doing that.
Now that's pretty good point. That is pretty good, man. We shall see, man. It's interesting to see, his next steps, and how he's gonna move, but I would say, if it's working, why even try to fix that? You know what I mean?
And word, I would say, like, when you put that question there, and I looked it up. I was just looking up like top numbers and stuff, and I was like, that's why I brought up Harry Styles earlier. I said, yo, I didn't even know Harry was killing the game like that.
Now Harry, bro, Harry, and I actually like Harry too.
I didn't even know that, bro.
Nah, bro.
I just watched the movie with Harry in it, like he was killing it. But I was like, yo, I didn't even know he was killing it musically like that.
Harry's nice, bro. Harry's House, he's got a lot of nominations for the Grammys this year too. Yeah, man. I mean, a lot of them guys, man, like Ed Sheeran. I mean, he came in the game real strong and took off immediately almost. So, yeah, man, very interesting acts, man. It's gonna be a great year, man. You got to throw her in there. You know how she gonna be coming with it soon, but man, recapping off of one of the biggest stories of probably the last 2 to 3 years, it seems like, man, because I feel like this was one of the longest drawn out trials and cases to get to the verdict ever, almost, man. But speaking of the Tory and Meg case, back in December, Tory was found on all 3 accounts. I can't specifically remember all of them in detail, but yeah, man. He's facing up to, I believe, 22 years. The census, if it already hasn't dropped, it should be coming sometime soon. I feel like immediately that case, like, just even before it even was a case, it was already drawing like a divide between specifically just genders, with just all the narratives going around it. You know what I mean? You definitely got the crowd that's gonna say protect black women, and to just, I guess, believe blindly what one side is saying without investigating it. I was more so on the side of just like letting all the details and go to trial before I made any, I guess, hard takes or harsh takes. I don't think it's really, it wasn't even a matter of having a take for me. It was just a matter of seeing what all happened and from that pulling the best judgment for what people were saying as far as like lying or telling the truth or not. So I think still today, like, even though the verdict is what it is, I think it's not necessarily telling the true story. And I do expect an appeal to come. But like, what was y'all immediate takeaways and just the whole ordeal as it was going on, and now the end of the result is what it is?
I got on the phone with Kenny once it happened, and I was shocked at the verdict. And that wasn't because I was. I mean, you know, I'm for truth. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, if he did it, if he didn't do it, I was shocked because everything that I was seeing, everything that I was like, even the updates leading up to the final verdict, right? All the different, like, you know, the different tweets and stuff like that we were seeing on Twitter. It seemed as if Tory was gonna walk out of there with not guilty. That's just what. So when I open up my phone and I see, you know, Shade Room or whoever posts like, yo, Tory's guilty on all 3 accounts, I was like, what? Because from the info, one of the biggest things I saw was like, yo, there's no DNA on the gun, right? Tory's DNA is not on the gun. And I was like, okay, bet. And then, you know, like, her friend was saying this, and then they couldn't find the bodyguard, and then all these other different things. I was like, yo, this is just too many holes. It's too messy. And like, you need concrete, like, solidified evidence to go ahead and put this guy, arrest this guy.
Yeah.
And so when they came to this verdict, I was like, oh, wow. All right. Then, you know, it is what it is. So that was my initial thing. I know Kenny, when I was talking with Kenny was on the side of, and I'll let him explain, but one of the things he kind of told me that I was still kind of confused. He was like, he agrees with the verdict, but he also agrees that Meg was wrong on a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I don't know. If you agree with the verdict, I almost feel like you gotta alleviate any blame or any shots taken, no pun intended, at Meg. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I almost feel like, what you just said was, even though you feel that they came to a verdict, you feel like the truth is still not being told. And that's I guess, like, we can even dialogue about this, because I want to ask you guys this question, because I think I feel that way. I think I feel what you said, right?
Yeah.
But the question is, are you allowed to say that, given the fact that a black woman is crying out saying, yes, I was shot by this man, right? Like, are you insensitive by saying, nah, I think you lied? I think you lied. I think the system got it wrong. I think Tory is being unjustly, put in jail, and he's gonna be, I think they said like 20. He could face up to 23 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is done if he gets that. So I almost want to say that, but it seems like in this day and age, you can't. Right now, if I were to tweet that, bro, oh man, they would be on my head about all that stuff.
Yeah. Do you want me to answer that right now, Kenny, or you want to jump?
No, go ahead, bro. You got it. Yeah,
okay.
You got it.
Yeah, so I definitely err on the same side of when you say, like, if probably when this come out now, like, I expect that type of blowback, right? But I'm cool with that, cause like, I think you gotta see this twofold. You can't just see, if you only seeing it from the side of protect black women, when somebody says something like that, it's gonna rub them the wrong way. But I'm just coming from an essence of seeing you have to put the truth above all. It can't just be the horse you have in the race. And because if I'm a black woman, I can see why I'm definitely more biased to that type of narrative. But if I'm a person that's seeking truth, no matter if I relate or look like that person, I put that above over that narrative. and deal with what comes with that. If it's offensive, if it's rubs you the wrong way, just know my intentions is not to shun that voice of black women. I just think you also simultaneously have to lift up the people that are being unjustly accused, like, or being accused of things that necessarily didn't happen the way that this person has went on his stand and said. Because I look at just all the context clues and things even leading up to it, like how inconsistent were things being said to when it finally came down to people taking a stand. They stories changed and a lot of details were left out. So why wouldn't that be something I didn't take or factor in when it comes down to the actual act of this person shooting you and the charges that are being charged? I think I have to keep the same energy with that, and I'm being fair. And if the one thing I can't do is look at Tory and see all the inconsistencies, because he didn't give me any. He didn't give me anything where he went on a public interview and said something that you then find out in court wasn't true. You know, he didn't give me all the takes that went on IG Live of you doing a lot of things that were behavioral, telling of what it looked like you were trying to do to this guy. And maybe, I can't say it's definite, but it looked like somebody that was hurt from a situation. They feelings got the best of them, and they turned that into trying to ruin somebody's life now and wasn't trying to seek the truth. Because if my best friend did such and such, I think that should be the person that really was being accused of doing this act and the charges that were after them. So, you know, I think when you make a take like that, I think you definitely got to expect that. And, you know, that's
and even, you know, but like people knowing that you're such a big Tory fan too, right? Like, how do you communicate
that without seeing
feel
bias?
Without seeming like, come on, word. Of course, you're gonna not want him locked up and yada yada yada. You know what I'm saying?
What our answer to that is look, I never went out and publicly said Meg is a straight liar. I didn't. I got a reaction channel. I never stopped reacting to her music or intaking her offerings of music. I didn't make it because, like, if you've been watching this podcast, I'm not a believer in cancellation. I'm more, like I say, I keep on saying, a path of correction. Like, I'm not on her trying to campaign and have others say, go cancel Meg. No, I'm making decisions on my own, and I'm cool with that. So it's going to be hard coming from somebody that's a Tory fan, but I'll just point to other things, how I still supported these people. You know what I mean? Like, I have no reason to feel like, even though this person may be caught up in a situation that paint somebody in the light that I like, I still ain't gonna be biased to the point where the truth hasn't came out and I just start to cancel them because they facing off with one another. Like, no, I'm still believing, like, based off of the facts or what was the verdict and the details in it, it's a lot of unanswered things that I think we may never know. You know what I mean? So, what you got, Kenny?
Yeah, no, like, I think for me, bro, I think it's a nuanced situation. I think kind of like what I was telling Loso on the phone, it's weird because when it comes to nuance, people are oftentimes in these situations looking for black and white, but you can't always provide it, right? So in this situation, two things can be true. I believe we don't have the full story. There's some details. There's the way that Meg's people, there's the way that she, and there's the way that her counsel and everybody else who's involved in her legal team, and even certain things that were allowed in court that lead us to believe that we don't have the full story about what exactly transpired, who all was involved, and that some of the things that were said toward Tory from the standpoint of severity were, like, embellished. We do. I think we can understand that. While also saying, bro, like, the evidence we do have, and I think that the jury worked off of to provide a conviction and a sentencing, is one that is troublesome, right? And one that, like, I feel like with what they had to use, puts us in this position where Tory's, now, facing charges, then, later be sentenced, all that good stuff. So the difficulty in that, I think, is the part that I'm saying, like, I can agree that I do think that the people utilized what they had, came to a judgment that I believe was fair based on the resources that were provided, while also saying, man, it doesn't seem like we have the full story, and it does seem like there may have been things that Tory was involved in that maybe aren't being told to its fullest extent, or made to be more incriminating than they should have been, which thus tax on the extra sentencing, tax on the severity of the penalty, tax on how we look at Tory as an individual, tax on the opinion that we can have about how it transpired, how much is an accident, how much was relationally, them being involved romantically, how much, like, we don't know all of those things. And so because of that, it's like, I respect the decision while also realizing that there were some things that I didn't necessarily like getting the play-by-play, getting the information that we have as a public, and feeling like maybe there were some aspects in which he got a raw deal, while respecting that they had to do it. They had a job to do, and that's just what it comes down to. So I think it's nuanced in that space. It's sad.
Kenny, you're on the side. Kenny, you're on the side, but you do believe that Tory should be in jail and that Tory shot her.
I'll say this, bro. Obviously, I don't know for certain. I don't. But what I will say is...
That's what you're leaning towards.
I'm leaning towards that. Yeah, I'm leaning towards that. Now, the factors involved, the details, and even what we're looking at, because here's the thing. This changes drastically if there's an aspect, because I know one theory came out that originally that started was Tory didn't send the first shots, but later got a hold of the gun while being saucy and started shooting things of that nature. If the person you're trying to protect, in this case her being her friend, sent harmful shots at you, and the other person happened to shoot the gun, in this theory would be Tory, and there's not somebody trying to inflict harm, but things of that nature, like how we look at this situation and how we would talk about it, go from protect black women to, oh no, this is like a dispute between two black women, and this individual happened to do something stupid, but not something that should get him into a position where public opinion should drag him through the mud. You see what I'm saying? So regardless of the actual details, though, I do think what is true is at some point that boy got a hold of the gun, at some point he shot, and the reckless endangerment charge is a real charge, bro. Like, yeah, you go to jail for that.
But you believe he shot her?
Huh?
You believe he shot her, or you're on the fence about it?
Her story is that he was purposely trying to injure and harm her.
Right. Now, what I am saying is this.
Me and Word don't believe that.
The intent is debatable. The action, I am leaning towards actually happened. That's what I'm saying, and that's what makes this difficult, because it's like, could he not have had the intent to shoot that girl? Probably, maybe. But I'm saying we don't know that for certain on either side, so I'm not willing to speculate there. But do I believe he shot her? Yeah, dog. Yeah. At some point.
Kenny, Well, Kenny, look. I'm gonna just tell you that me and Word we're still gonna be listening to Playboy, and you just got to deal with that, bro. So.
Yeah. If that's where we can get into a conversation, because if people took a route where they were trying to tell me that based off of what happened in this case, I need to stop listening to this dude, you'll be out of your mind. Like, it was way too many.
But word. No. I would say this though.
Go ahead.
I know what you're about to get, right? Rape. If an artist was touching little kids or something like that, I agree with you. But I'm just letting you know, be prepared, because the fact that he is going to jail and the whole story is that he shot Meg.
Right.
He tried to injure or bring harm to a black woman. If they even want to go as far as like, yo, you know what? He tried to do whatever it was. They're gonna want to look at you weird if you're supporting any of his music, even if, let's say because you know an artist like Tory, I'm pretty sure he has, catalogs on a computer that even when he's locked up, he's gonna be able to still drop some music. They're going to look at you, Word, and say, yo, why are you still supporting this man after he did this? What would your response be?
I was just about to get it to. I'm like, bro, being that I've never followed any other case or trial to the detail that I've followed to this, right? And I'm still waiting for like the official transcripts, because everybody that was reporting know that there was always a gloss of kind of like they bias or just kind of they take on it. But if you follow this case, bro, and you believe that anybody can come away with a strong belief of what actually happened to the point where it's big enough to make a hard decision, like cancel that person or stop listening to their music or to remove their music from digital outlets, I would say you're you really didn't pay attention to the details. You just blindly believing. You of the belief of like blindly believing a black woman at that point, right? And I'm not that type of person. I'm a person that's going to investigate and look at the details for myself and make my own decision from that. So, and as long as I did that work, I think I'm standing on the fact that I did that work, and I'm not just doing it because I'm a Tory fan. I'm not doing it from just a Tory fan standpoint. It's because I did the work of following it. And yeah, like it ain't from just like blindly believing.
They're gonna tell you the court did the work.
And I'll say the court has done. I'll say the court has done.
What work have you done that the court didn't do? That's what they're gonna tell you.
I'll say the court has done niggas like me done horrendously for years.
Come on.
I mean, if you think that, if you want to look at all the cases they done got wrong and people personally that cats know in real life, like come on now, like I don't put my trust in the government. You know what I'm saying?
Here's my question though. My question is even with that being the case, is clearly wrongful conviction being, as a black man in America is nothing new, bro. I'm with you on it. My question to you is, how much different would your approach be if Meg Thee Stallion was a family member or someone close by, a black woman who was in your life making these claims, and you couldn't necessarily verify them because you weren't there? You're hearing it secondhand, just like the rest of us are, but you're being told this about a black woman who's in your life who you care about, and now insert that woman, whoever you have in your head, and go from there. And she were making these claims. Would it be still, hey, bro, I did my due diligence, I'm still jamming homie music, or would it be different in that space?
Fortunately, bro, I know a lot of stories for some people is, they family doesn't make them they family. Like, you talking about blood or whatever, like I'm trying to, what I was gonna say is like I have real roots and family ties with my family that are well on good terms. I can go to their house, I love them to death, such and such. But I don't put it past anybody that they can come away with making up stories or being as inconsistent as you saying. Like if they was a family member and was saying all the things that came out about this case and Meg and the lies like that, you saying all that, they adopt all that and they happen to be my family member.
Yeah,
like
I'm saying
if they fit all of that.
Not even family. Let's not even say family. Let's say a black woman you care about comes to you with this scenario. I'm talking about something you really got love for.
Right.
And everything that's transpired, you weren't there, so you can't verify any of this.
Yeah.
But she's coming to you the same way Mega's come to the media, to the public, to you. Right. This entire time, the case winds out how it winds out, blah 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 blah. And I'm saying from that standpoint, does your disposition towards Lane's change, your support of him change in light of that? You know what I'm saying? Like, does that allow you to move differently, or does it make you move differently at all?
Yeah, the only thing it affects, bro, is it becomes a harder relationship between me and that person. That's it. But I would still have the same type of position, I guess, that if you asking, that I have in this case. It'll just make it harder because they're dear to me. They're dear to me, and I have a relationship with that person. So it's very easy for me to come across and say this about Meg or anybody in the media because I don't have a relationship. But it'll just create more difficulty. But if somebody's adopting the type of lies and the things that have came out of this case, bro, I'm not going to just dumb myself down to believe in it because of the relationship I have with them. It'll be difficult, but I'm not, I'm well developed in my thinking and maturity to still come away with what I've come away with this case. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it is be more difficult. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with that.
Yeah, man, it's what y'all think about their careers, man? Like, can she come out with a song talking about vagina after this, or can he come out with a song?
Yeah, I was wondering. I actually have more questions about Meg's career.
Los woke up.
I was actually more curious to see how. I'm more curious to see how Meg's career goes moving forward than I am about Tory's. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Tory is doing time, I mean, Tory's just doing time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, and I kind of expect his career to drop and all that stuff. I just have a little more questions. Like, how does the community kind of support her moving forward? I know she has a machine with Rock Nation behind her and stuff like that, but
bro.
It just doesn't seem like it's gonna go that well. I also don't think though, word, because I know privately we spoke and you said you kind of feel like Tory is going to be looked at as, or he's going to be in the same space as Chris Brown, where it was kind of tough early on. And obviously Chris has kind of came over the hump, even though obviously anytime, Chris has any success, you'll find some trolls in the comments like, look what he did with Rihanna, yada, yada. This situation, I would admit though, I do think it's going to be a little more difficult for Tory. One, only because he wasn't as, you would agree, he wasn't as big as Chris Brown, right?
Nah, by any measure, he wasn't.
And then two, the fact that there's a weapon involved, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why it's going to be a little more difficult for Tory to, let's say, the time gets reduced, or let's say by some miracle, you know what I'm saying, like he's able to kind of just come out and whatnot. I just think it's going to be a little more difficult for Tory to get on the road, for Tory to find success as far as like selling albums and stuff. Like, there's people who's going to listen to him because he just makes some amazing music.
Yeah.
But I just don't know what space he's going to be in. Like, it's going to be tricky for some people to do features with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people might have some reservations. Like, as soon as Chris Brown got out of that situation, the biggest artist, Wayne, he kept doing records with Chris Brown. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Wayne was in his prime at that time.
Yep.
So I just don't know what that looks like for Tory. But for Meg, I think I have a lot more questions for Meg because it just seems like people are split down the middle on what to do with her.
Nah, I agree. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be smooth selling for Meg after this. Like, if they believe this was gonna be Rihanna 2.0, I don't see it going that way at all. You know what I mean? I think Rihanna was very much more beloved. She was more of a pop world. That's, you can kind of see where they was gonna take her after that stuff happened, and they did. And then you just got to look at the talent level. Like, she just doesn't make music like Rihanna. Like, this has nothing to do with this case, bro. I feel like Megan had all the elements to be the next person that'll be like in place of where Nicki kind of existed for a while. She had all the elements. Like, she could actually rap. Yeah. You know what I mean? She was,
sex appeal.
Sex appeal. I don't know if she, I know she claimed to write her lyrics, but I know it's been rumors, but she had all of those boxes checked off, right? It's just that she started to lack a lot of range with her subject matter. The song was coming out. It was the same song each time. And then it just took a nosedive with the quality. So this case has only created more stuff to pile on. And like, if you believe what I believe about her music and how her career took a nosedive, this is only something else to just throw on top of that as well to kind of make people feel even more ill about her. If you actually her friend, I guess, in real life, if you somebody that supported her music and she's been, because it ain't just been like women versus dudes in this whole case. It's been a lot of women that's feeling the way about Meg too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and be coming up with some harsh takes. So yeah, I don't suspect it to be a smooth selling career that just takes off. I think the greatest,
even though Rock Nation is behind her.
Even though Rock Nation's behind her, bro. I mean, when you look at her first weeks, bro, she's doing horrendous numbers. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know nobody in real life that ever seen Megan Thee Stallion live. I'm just being
Nah, Kenny, that's a fact though, bro.
I'm just trying to look at the stuff that I look at for any other artist. Like, how do they sell? How do you ever seen her show? Like, do she got? I mean,
that man said, I don't know nobody in real life.
I think a lot of people would. We would want to see her just to throw some ass, but we would not see her for the music. Honestly, like I have to keep it a bean, and I'm keeping it a bean because that's it. I think she came in the game nice. After that, the quality and where she took it just never trended the way it was at first. What you think though, Kenny? How you think her career gonna go, man?
It depends. There's one route that keeps her afloat and even allows her to garner a bunch of attention that she otherwise wouldn't. And so if she uses this card, she'll be fine. But it's the only card I feel like she can use. If I'm her PR guy, I'm saying to her, okay, wait till this conviction is handed out. Bam, once we get the sentencing, you're gonna have to change public perception. At this point, but it's now shown that he's guilty by the court of law. So here's what you need to do: 1 or 2 records as a tell-it-all. So that you can speak about it, I need you to give your details from this side, like a Usher's Confessions. I need you to do that in a record to build up anticipation, so that people feel like they've gotten your side of the story. Because this is the thing, people. One thing that will never fail, and the reason why Shade Room will forever be one of the biggest media outlets we have, is people love gossip and tea, bro. And people are messy. Like, that's just the reality of the situation.
That's
you
right.
play off of that in this world.
If it's done right, though, Kenny,
it gotta be done. Yeah.
When Tory came out with that project right after all of this, right?
Daystar,
and we all ran to it. Like, what was it?
Daystar.
First of all, not only did we want to, we want to hear Tory's side of this, like this relationship that he's talking about with Meg and all this other stuff. But my thing is, like, we know that he's capable of doing it.
That's Tory, it right there.
When you get that clip of Tory in the studio and he's telling, I forgot who he's talking to, he's like, I'm nicer than all these niggas. You know what I'm saying? When he's saying that, I believe Tory. Like, I'm like, yo, he really is nicer than everybody. He's not bigger than everybody. He's nicer than everybody. But like, that's because he could put a melodic ballad together, bro. He can go ahead and rap. He can go ahead and do all this stuff, put together a story that I want to sit down and I want to listen to it. Meg, unfortunately, if she does say, hey, you know what? I'm going to tell it all about the truth about me and Tory's relationship. Granted, there is going to be this desire to go ahead and just hear it. But I'd rather her just do a podcast if that's the case. I'd rather her just do an interview on, link up with, like, Joe Rogan or something like that. If you want to just and get a percentage of those,
Angela
Martinez, that's probably be better for you. Yeah, like if you get a percentage of those YouTube numbers and stuff like that, that's just better that way. Because I just don't think that Meg has the artistry to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely get what you're saying for sure. I think also, matter of fact, I lied. There's one more route that she could take if she's not going to do that one. And this is another one. This is another one that probably is even safer than the one I just mentioned. Because I agree with what she's saying, Los. And the other thing I thought about while you were talking was, could she take the Black Girls United, We of the World, turn up and let's celebrate Black women and melanin and skin route? And let me tell you, that route's gonna win every time, no matter who she is. So to me, that's the safer bet to take. Of like, I mean, even if you did a, when Macklemore made the same Love record and he was trying to appeal to the LGBTQ movement, you take that movement, you get a singer to sing the hook about, like, we need to be protected, something like that. You get a dope vocalist, somebody that everybody respects, talking about, protection, whatever the case may be. Bam, you put 2 verses on it talking about how scarred you are and how much you need love and protection, and how the Black woman is the least protected, being in the world, and all of that. And she right back on top, bro. And then she can talk about twerking and everything else she want to talk about.
Not on top.
Yeah, because I'm about to say right back. I mean, I don't know if she ever been on. But man, look, you talking about her PR team, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, she need to get rid of that PR team. That PR team, bro, has been putting her through all kind of torture, bro, since all of this stuff has happened, bro. And I believe they've been making some horrible. Man, somebody was telling me, bro, they felt like at one point in the case, they felt like they were just feeding her to the wolves and they was just trying to throw this mug on purpose, bro. Like, that's how I felt at one point, because stuff started going so like y'all, like, bro, they waited all these years to start their opening statements off with dance, bitch, dance. Like, it was nothing new, but yeah, man, like, I don't know, man, her career, bro. Yeah, I said I hope she don't make another vagina song. It's just that she just needs to get her quality back, bro. Like, stop making the same songs over and over. And because you giving all these routes she could take, but I just don't like for people to be doing things that they not authentically wanting to do, because it'll be so easy to see. Like, when you talking about the whole Unite Black Girl or the whole Tell All, like, this would be the 3rd story we got from her. Like, and it's probably gonna be a different version. Like, I don't want no, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it'll
all I'm saying is, listen, Meg, what people forget also is that Meg has a Beyonce Trump card she could probably call in at any time. And that covers a multitude of sins in the music industry, bro. If she does this right,
does she have that card?
I don't know about that Trump, but they be.
Does she have that card?
I believe she probably does, bro. And
Like, you think she has that pool that she could call Beyonce anytime, bro?
I don't know about that.
I'm talking about
Especially after this mess.
for a black girl empowerment record. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she does. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she does.
Let me make one thing
I would
clear,
actually be
man.
shocked if she didn't.
I know it's one thing that I don't get confused with her. You know, no matter how much I love anything, it's no reason to be going at Jay-Z. Like the people that's going at Jay, like and all that. You can't prove that Jay did anything to make any of this stuff happen, right? Like he owns Rock Nation, and all Rock Nation is doing is arming their artists with the best lawyers they can get. That's what they supposed to do. So like everybody that was attacking Jay, that
was Tory's dad, right?
That was Tory dad. Yeah, I'm saying. But even before I seen that though, it was already commentary that was going on prior to that on the internet. Like he was trending worldwide before that even. You know what I'm saying, took a life of his own, but yeah, man. Yeah,
don't let Jay get on the record with Meg. Don't let Jay get on the record with Meg.
I don't even want to hear that. Now that sounds disgusting, bro.
It might be a rap, right?
That sounds disgusting.
I'm telling you, that changed.
But you know what? The way that Tory operates, I believe he got anything in the vault that's ready for anything that comes after this. I tell you that one thing. He's one of the most trusted artists when it comes to musicality, bro. Like I believe he's ready. They say he took it like a G dog. He ain't flinch. He ain't, do anything that made it seem like he didn't know what was coming, unless he was just froze. Like that was another thing. Like maybe he was just froze. But even they say his pops like lost it and he was trying to calm him down. Like you gotta have some type of composure to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they said when everybody was going crazy, he just I think the writer has said all he did was look at his son and he did this.
Yeah.
He just tapped his chest to his son and he was like, "Don't worry."
Yeah. So. I mean, but when it kind of, so his career,
it felt like John Q.
You crazy, man. Come on. Hey, you got to be, the way he views things, just know he feel like this just probably making the story even greater, man. It's probably tough to view it like that, but man, trust me, man, it's crazy to face 20 anything almost in the face. You see what I'm saying? Like,
right. That part.
Prayers up for that dude, man, for sure, man. But yeah, man, this was long-winded, man. We knocking at 2 hours and 15 minutes. How y'all doing, man? We finna wrap up. Dog.
My dog, Word, he's a vet at this anyway. He gonna chop up a good, all the good clips for y'all and stuff like that.
Right.
For sure, man.
Yeah, he got that.
You got any closing statements for us, dog, or anything you want to chat back into, or anything, my G Loso?
You know what, man? If anybody's just trying to tap in with me, you know what I'm saying? Instagram and Twitter, everything Loso. I got a website, everythingloso.com. As soon as I'm up and walking, obviously by the time this probably drops, I should be, back to the grind of things. So, be on the lookout for me and T-Top, me and Disaster. Those are the two battles that we're trying to go ahead and get back in the mix. And, just trying to put out some more content for y'all, trying to be more consistent. And anytime that Word and Klarity want to go ahead and chop it up, man, and honestly, bro, y'all got my number. Anytime a big sports thing just occurs, bro, hit my line, bro. I'm here, man. Now, are y'all primarily basketball, or do y'all even tap into football, or do y'all stay away from the NFL?
We primarily.
Go ahead, Kenny. Word is more just a hoops guy, but I definitely, I'll be on the football too.
That's fine. Like y'all not gonna discuss like college football playoffs coming up or football playoffs and like it's just mainly NBA season, right?
Like if it's big time stuff. Like I think we talked about the Super Bowl recently. Like I think we was gonna place a bet on it something. But if we gonna take deep dives, more than likely probably not. Okay. So not deep dives. Like, we at surface though.
Yeah, like convos, like when y'all throwing out numbers, stats, and debates, it's y'all staying in the NBA and stuff like that.
Yeah, more so.
Okay, man, but I'm here too. You know what I'm saying? Whenever we talk about all-star selections coming up, all that stuff, bro.
Yeah, and it's a music and sport podcast, so we gonna be always chopping up biggest music news all the time. So yeah, man. For sure. So we know we always gonna hit you up for sure, my G. I was thinking, I seen a flyer, bro. Was that Easy and Hitman actually happening?
Oh yeah. That's going down February. Just got a call as well, so hopefully I get on that card, man. You know what I'm saying? I was just on the phone with somebody yesterday.
Hey Los, I'll be in New York that week, so
Oh, look, word, Kenny. Like whenever y'all, you already know that. Just shoot me a text and y'all in the building with me anyway. But I mean, but Kenny, you know that. Like even when I'm not battling, you in the building. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So, but yeah, like if I'm there, I mean, that one, I told somebody, I said, bro, it don't matter what y'all put on the card. I said, people gonna buy that pay-per-view regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's Hitman going back to New York. It's Easy, who's the hottest dude right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that just makes sense. And Remy Ma, you know, she always gonna bring out the stars. So, you know, Terror Squad gonna be in the building. And that's why that's one of the reasons why they trying to lock me in. They just want that Latin representation or whatnot, you know, with Fat Joe and all that stuff. And I said, bro, let's do this, bro. I said, you know what? I said, yo, you can book me against anybody. Let's go ahead and do it.
That's what's up, dog.
But hopefully, but you know, but regardless though, I'm gonna be there though. I think I'm gonna make plans to just be there. But yeah, that battle word, I mean, like this goes back to one of the first combos that we had today on today's podcast. Like, whenever Hitman pops out, it's just a movie. You know what I'm saying?
Stars
like
popping out.
Yep. And so, you know, he's that dude that whoever is hot, whoever's on a run, he's gonna go ahead and battle. And so, hey, and URL, unfortunately, they dropped the ball on the Hitman and Geechee battle. They didn't get that locked in, so they going into Hitman and Easy on Remy Ma.
I like that bet anyway, man. The first time I seen Easy was Easy versus Chess, and I almost lost my mental when I seen that. And I ain't seen, at that point in time, I hadn't watched battles like intensely in a while. And that was the first one I seen, like that whole card. But when it got to them, bro, because I knew about Chess. That was my first impression of Easy. And I was like, every time Chess went, I was like, Easy he can't do nothing. Easy coming back every time with that money, bro.
And matched it.
Yeah,
and that was, that was probably the one where people probably said, okay. Yeah. Like, I mean, it is what it is. Because even though he has like A-Verb and he has Big T and he has these guys that unfortunately don't win battles like that anymore.
Right.
He also has battles against one of the best chess we ever seen, and Easy still walked out of there alive. And then, you know, he battles K-Shine, you know what I'm saying, who wins battles a lot, and he walked out of there alive. He battles Calico, walks out of there alive. So like Easy, arguably, since he started his run in 2020, hasn't lost a battle to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. That's what's up, man. I'm excited for that, man. You got any closing words for us, Kenny, my G?
Listen, same steez every time, man. You know what I'm saying? Go like, comment, subscribe to the podcast. Go tap in with everybody. Word of clarity. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, man, that's really about it, man. Appreciate everybody tapping in. You know, I'm ready to do it next time, man.
Facts, man. And enjoy this with Loso, man. We be chopping it up on a regular, but it's always dope to capture it on camera.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like early, was that this year when y'all was in St. Louis, that 2-on-2?
Yeah, that was in February.
Yeah, so like on my other platform, Damage Control, I know we was trying to do that, but it was dope to do it here because it feel better. It feel nicer here too to talk about more topics. But yeah, man, appreciate you sliding through. Definitely gonna probably be somebody that come through every once in a while. So, and everybody out there watching, make sure y'all go and follow us on Word of Clarity. It's your boy Word from the Word of Clarity podcast. You know what time it is? We out of here. Yee.